Hello, everyone, and welcome to another fabulous Tuesday where Steven goes to shut the door.
I'm out of here.
Yeah, it was good. It was good to see you, Steven. We'll see you next time. Just kidding.
You said you were reviewing Uprising. I'm out of here.
Yeah, it's too much.
I like the mystery.
Dense content. None of that. Who's gonna win? Moments. So what we're going to be doing today, a little crash course. This is Flesh and Blood TCG if you're unfamiliar. This is not the place to start. I would recommend checking out the Tolarian Community College did like a 20-minute how to play.
Yeah, the professor himself.
Yeah, we have a Fab Foundations video series for that next level where you go from understanding the game to actually understanding the game. You know what I mean? I was talking to had a friend recently get into Fab. These new, I'll tell you what. Here we go. Off on the rabbit trail.
Yeah,
before we even get to the agenda,
I will say before we, Zach's he has a lot to say, obviously. So while you're here, we're gonna do an Uprising set review. So stick around for that. We're gonna lean back.
I was gonna get there in like 5 minutes.
We're gonna have a good time. We're gonna be chilling. We're gonna be talking about the cards, both limited and constructed. We're just gonna go through card by card and give kind of thoughts, having played them in limited and some in constructed at this point, and just general evaluations. We're not hyper competitive players, I would say. You're getting there. I think you're in that echelon at this point, but typically just don't approach the game as much like you might get from an Arsenal Pass review or something like that. But we will.
They still play?
Well, yeah, we'll be right in there. And just giving some thoughts, and maybe some thoughts that are uncommon or a little bit under the radar for some of these cards, because I look at weird cards and say, like, well, maybe this could work in these kinds of situations.
Well,
so
I think especially a lot of people, the Road to National season is happening now. A lot of people are going to that who don't consider themselves hyper-competitive players, and they're going to be constructed in draft format. So if you want kind of an overview of what all the cards in the set are, how they function loosely, how they might be used well, same thing in both draft, sealed, and constructed. Like if you're going to be playing against a Dromai deck, as an example, having an idea of what cards you might have around would be helpful. So this will be a good discussion. I'm also interested in seeing what chat has to say as we go, because every time we get into these draft sealed sets, going back to my earlier rabbit trail, one of the things that I think makes me like those formats so much is you essentially are limited on what cards you're going to be able to play in a game. And so you have to be able to understand how to create value on a foundational level. Like when you're playing a constructed deck, like my Earthbriar deck, that deck sometimes will give you hands and it's just like, oh, of course this is what you do.
Yeah.
And like
somewhat linear.
Yeah, well, and like just the strategy is very succinct. It's like
you build it for that.
Yeah, you're building around this one concept, and everything should kind of play to that concept in one way or another. It serves a role, right? And you have to understand what your macro strategy is, what their macro strategy is, and how those relate, and how you're going to actually win the game. But in sealed, those early lessons from that Vegas, the Monarch test prep session, right? It's like, how are you actually going to fundamentally win the game?
Yeah.
And when you're dealing with a very limited amount of cards, you really need to know what that looks like. And then you really need to make sure that you don't like block with those cards, right?
Yeah.
Like if your win condition is these two cards somehow,
and
you just block with them, it's like you didn't.
It's exactly what we're talking about. The next step in sealed, a lot of the times this is the case. Draft gets a little bit more linear because you can draft a particular strategy, but it does get to the point where the game is not fast enough that you can just play turn by turn value. Mm-hmm. Like you will end up at the end game with 2 health and nothing to play, or nothing good to play. So you do have to think a little bit harder about what kind of the promise of Flesh and Blood has been, especially in the limited side, is that second cycle of the deck, keeping your threat density relatively high, does become more of a consideration in limited. And depending on the heroes in the set, it can either be more or less of a consideration. Like with Leviathan and Monarch, I was always hitting second cycle. Mm-hmm. I think Monarch was particularly very good at getting you to that second round of the cards that you had started pitching early in the game. Which Arya felt a little too fast.
If you think about Monarch though, like Chain is the fastest deck in sealed.
Yeah.
But he decks himself.
Yeah, and he's fast over time. It's weird. He's not like out of the gate like Fi.
Yeah, and sealed has like, you have less time, sealed in draft, to have that strategy happen, Like it's a smaller deck, so by the time you only get so many 6 shackle turns. In constructed, you can have several 6 shackles in a row.
That's true.
Anyways, then the other deck is Bolton. who, when you are trying to play aggressively with Bolton, he still takes time.
Yeah.
You got to build the soul.
Yeah.
So no hero in that format to me. Prism wants to build a board state, and slowly attrition you over time.
Or just wreck you with heralds. But
and Levia can be aggressive, but it's not like she's like dominating. A lot of times you can just block.
Yeah. So many of my games ended on very specific dominate plays or her soul harvest, like soul harvest plays. Those were big for me with her. But yeah, there's just like swinging for 12 in sealed can be the end of the game in that format in particular. But Arya was, I think, a little bit fast because Briar was just dishing out a lot of damage and hard to block damage.
A lot of times unblockable.
Yeah.
The Rosetta Thorn having arcane damage on it.
Yeah.
As long as you had...
And just arcane in general in that set.
Yeah.
It was strictly unblockable.
Yeah, unless you got that Heart of Ice.
Then you're Oldhim anyway, right? Generally.
But the Oldhim could block it.
Yeah, it could be clever.
Particularly. But all that to say, in that format, you had a sword that could do 2 arcane that was unblockable most of the time. You just had to be able to swing a sword 10 times. And you win.
Yeah.
If you do any other damage, you remove the number of times you need to swing that sword.
Yeah.
Which is very linear and also very fast.
And then I feel like in Uprising... it's right on second cycle, I think, when things are over. I think 5 is really fast. It's going to be pretty consistently 10 to 12 damage, and then can be bigger over the course of turn after turn after turn. And it has a ton of 2 blocks in that pool. There's a pretty reasonable amount of 3 blocks, but the average, I think, is still lower than we've seen in the past if you take all the 5 cards in. So has your experience in, I know there's been some drafts, some Wolfpack drafts have been going on. Are you seeing second cycles?
Yeah, a lot.
Okay.
I think most games get to a second cycle. Unless you just, you can play riskier.
Sure.
But I think the vast majority of games are getting second cycle. And then I've had a lot of games come down to like last hand. Like draw 4, no cards in deck kind of moment,
so
especially as Dromai.
Yeah.
But it's really, because you essentially have Icelander who is, and we'll look at all these cards in a second, but Icelander is control. She wants to disrupt and ping. And so like a lot of times you're just like slowly, okay, you stopped me, but you're not doing that much either. So here we are. And some Icelander can be explosive. Like 5 Arcane is obnoxious.
Yeah, it's a lot. Well, it certainly seems like, and this will flavor the evaluations today on Limited, it certainly seems like Icelander slows down Fi and tries to go longer game against Fi, but then Dromai slows down Icelander with AB a million and can go fatigue against Icelander. And so in your triad of pairings, one of those is always trying to slow the other deck down. So the weird ones are like Dromai Fi, and then it's like, well, how does that one end up?
But I feel like Fi is probably favored because like even just Phoenix Flame,
just smoking the dragons,
getting from discard pile to punch a little dragon.
Yeah.
And then you have the sword swing that you can do over and over again at 3. That's going to kill most dragons.
Yeah.
Actually has a weapon, or he has a weapon that can just poke it. Also tons of 4 and 5 attacks in Fi. So, you play a 5 health dragon, they just attack it.
Yeah.
And Fi has no, and we'll cover all this as we're going through all the cards, but no shortage of hit effects that are actually like weirdly good in this scenario. So like if you have a 2 health dragon, there's the one that you can banish an attack and play it for X less resources, where it's the number of Draconic chain links you have. So you do that on like chain link 2. All of a sudden you can play a 1-coster for free.
Yeah.
So you clear a dragon and get to play a card for free.
Yeah.
There's a lot of that kind of stacking that happens. But I think it's general consensus on the old Wolfpack drafting, and this is the, trying to get to the depth of the draft strategy at the moment, not fully fleshed out. But the idea is there's a triangle, like you were saying, which is Fi is pretty good into Dromai, Dromai is pretty good into Icelander, Icelander is pretty good into Fi, for the reasons we've talked about, which is kind of what you want. And it's not like 90-10, right?
Yeah.
It's like 70-30, 60-40.
It seems like the question is then, can you build a draft strategy on any of these heroes that can accomplish the good matchup naturally, but then also hedge for the bad one?
And also the mirror.
And the mirror. Who needs the mirror?
Yeah, the funniest one to me so far has been the Dromai mirror. Because like the first time I did it, my opponent played Rake the Embers, red.
Yeah.
Got 3 dragons, attacked 3 times. I didn't have a 6 in hand to block it with. I take 3. My turn. I play a red rake the embers, and I just clear out the dragons.
Yeah.
So then if he doesn't have 3 dragons on the next hand, now I actually get to keep mine around.
Yeah.
But it was a whole bunch of like play a dragon, do a thing, then your opponent plays a dragon and kills your dragon.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden
It's just kind of bouncing off each other.
And at some point I realized in that game, we were down to like 6 or 7 cards each. I was like, whoever has a dragon out when we're both out of cards
Sure.
wins the game.
Yeah.
And so it was like, wait a second.
That's the only weapon you got.
There's a weird game now going on, which is like, I want to deck you and also have at least a dragon out with you at none.
Yeah, you got a hot potato the dragon.
Yeah, and sometimes that looks like my last turn is like, I get the last card out of your hand and then I use a dragon to poke your dragon. And I just have that one little baby dragon sitting there. Well, now I can just do one.
Yeah.
Every turn, you can't do anything.
Now you're the Kadachi man.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool. So I've also seen a lot of comments coming in on the about boxes and Uprising deliveries. Thank you so much, everybody who was subscribed to our Flesh and Blood booster box subscription and the Blitztech subscription. That was a wild time last week getting all of that out. We were happy to turn it around in under 24 hours, well under 24 hours. And seen a ton of people posting here in the chat, on Twitter, on our Discord about polls and
I feel like
all the different boxes and cases that they've
everyone
got.
got it fabled somehow.
Man, I think
But
there's just so many cool things to have in Uprising, and obviously it's an important time to remember, like, everyone's going to self-select for the things that look good and that they did well on. Yeah. So you're only going to see pictures of cases that were insane or boxes that were insane.
You'll notice I wasn't posting a ton of pictures.
Did you open yours already?
I opened a lot of it. I haven't opened it all because I don't know what's going to happen on the stream.
Well, you always take the bad boxes. That's just good business.
Yeah. Well, typically I have hot hands.
Yeah.
It's actually pretty crazy. Like Crucible is really fortunate.
Only on stream, though.
Yeah. Well, that was the problem.
That is the problem. You're powered by the audience.
I will say, just before this stream started, I was walking through and the ops team is working on our Uprising singles. Those people have been asking. Those will be available soon. And I was like, I'll just grab one pack to open, just a little taste. And I said, it's going to be good. Open it. Cold foil fabled. First pack.
And you haven't done that for yourself, have you?
No, I haven't.
Ooh,
but man, it's a beautiful
card. And on that note, if you're curious about that service or that system, check it out on our website, teamcovenant.com. The booster box subscription comes in an exclusive promo. You can see it. Actually, the exclusive, promo sand cover, I think we'll probably get that. Or sand cover promo. I might get that depending on how
the old Bryce bot.
Yeah, how the robot's feeling. But we have an exclusive promo every time that goes out. That is the non-promo version. That goes out every set. And they're all different art and pretty fantastic, if I do say so myself. We've been very fortunate to not just get alternate, extended arts of the existing stuff. It's all fresh art. So people have been loving those. I saw some comments on Twitter come through about how much they're loving the promotional sand covers as well. Happy to provide that, and we would love to have you all on a subscription. And as always, we're always looking at price and where to put that in the grand scheme of things. So we got our eyes open, and we'll adapt as needed. Other order of business, I wanted to say one more thing. We sent out an email about this yesterday on the Blitz decks. We did have, there was a small percentage, about 5% of our Blitz deck subscribers, 5 to 8, I think it was, that were not able to get those shipments out because we had a lot of Blitz deck displays that actually had all Dromai instead of Dromai and Fae, half and half. So that was crazy. So we opened up all of our stuff. We got everything out that we could. There were still a few subscribers that we couldn't serve. We sent them an email. LSS immediately corrected that problem. There's more displays on the way to us. Maybe here already.
They're here. They're shipping today.
Okay, great. So those are shipping today. So slight delay on those. Wanted to make sure everybody knew that was going on as well. Yeah. Anything else for you on the technical side? On the business side? Any dirty laundry?
One thing.
Rumors?
No, not really. But if you're going to be in Tulsa this weekend at the Road to Nats, I'll be there. So say hi. And ours is 2 weekends from this weekend. So 3-ish weeks from now, 2.5 weeks.
I'll be in Crested Butte, Colorado.
This weekend?
No, for our event, our fab event.
Nice.
I don't plan them around me.
I'll send you a picture with me holding my victory card, whatever that is.
Yeah, the victory card.
I think it's actually like a cold foil Icelander or something is what the winner gets this time around.
Huh.
And then 2nd through 8th get like cold foil Phi and Dromai.
That's good.
Which is cool. Anyways, point being, our event is in Tulsa on, let me just pull it up real quick. I want the date.
Was it 21st? That sounds right. Also, Bryce, you're on that. We're the monitor's frozen currently. If anyone can maybe unselect and reselect that video source or something.
23rd in Tulsa, Oklahoma.
23rd.
It is going to be the draft format, which I am super excited about. And that gets me back to my original side trail from the very start of the video, which is a good place to start the review of the Uprising set. And that is not by looking at the actual cards. I want to talk about the set for a second. I did open a lot of my boxes this weekend. Got all the cards sorted, had to get everything ready, get the decks put together, got to get to testing for the Pro Tour in France. And
It's a difficult life, isn't it?
Yeah, man.
It's a hard one.
Tough weekend. But here's what I want to say. I understand why Legend Story does this. And there was a video of James at the Pro Tour in New Jersey where he said that the current plan is every other set is supplemental, which they are calling something else now. And then...
What are they calling it? Like upgrade? Bonus?
I forget what it's called. There's a word in the 2.0 announcement, I think. But then every other set is that, and then into a set that's like sealed and draftable.
Okay.
But here's what I will say. The number of people that in Monarch and Tales of Aria were like, I got, like when you ask, when did you start playing? It's like when Monarch came out. When Tales of Aria came out. Or that are now approaching me that have been in the fab, periphery, almost about to think about checking out the
Almost thinking?
About to approach a piece of ice,
Chelsea think.
But the number of people has, like, my, what do you call it? Not my personal experience, but my, like when you have evidence that just is from your own experience and not empirical.
Subjective?
My subjective experience.
Insular?
Is that there are a lot more people asking me questions now than there were for Everfest. And my theory is that a lot of that hangs on the ability to play sealed and draft with friends or locally,
100%, man. So you're saying it's the wrong decision?
So I understand why you want to do a supplemental set and give every, class cards every time you can, like, and keep the constructive format fresh. But as someone, like right now, having two formats to learn and prepare for, and one being like the draft format and knowing the Pro Tour is half draft, half constructed, basically. Yeah. As a current player, that's more exciting for me personally. Yeah. But I also feel that new player drift happening. Yeah. So anyways, I just, as in terms of set review, I love the fact that it's draft and sealed, and I just hope that we see a lot of it. You know what I mean? A lot more draft and sealed.
So you're saying we should just do only draft and sealed sets like I want?
Personally, I would prefer that. Yeah. But I get it.
I get it.
Anyways, the other thing I want to say about this set, Fab 2.0, right? In the house. Here it is.
It's coming from inside the house.
From inside the house. The collectability of this set is 10 times better than it's ever been. Okay. Like, as someone who is, I'm just now going to claim it, as a collector of card games.
You finally donned the hat?
Yeah. For a long time, I was like, I'm a player of games.
Once you're buying Lord of the Rings TCG, I think you're a collector.
It's a fine line, because anytime I'm collecting something, it's with the intent to play it. Some people literally just collect.
Sure. Okay.
So, like, I'm not that collector. Yeah. And I actually use, the cards I'm collecting. Anyways, so opening the product this weekend, I think that everything they did, Rainbow Foil Legendaries, Cold Foil Legendaries that are harder to get, Cold Foil Fabled is harder to get, the Marvels, like, instead of opening a Cold Foil Potion of Luck, you're opening a Cold Foil Miragi or Miragai. And, like...
That feels a little better, doesn't it?
Yeah, or like a Cold Foil either Ashwing or the Cold Foil Phoenix form. It's like, it's hard to even describe how much better. And even after, like, just, there's still things I want to collect. The past 2 or 3 sets, I get to this point.
You want that Icelander?
Which one?
The full art.
I got one.
Did you get one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's getting traded. She gone.
Shipping out.
So it's a beautiful card, but it's the young hero. Yeah. And, like, I don't play Blitz, so again, I'm not that collector. Like, that's one of the rarest cards in the set, I think. Yeah. From what people are saying.
If it ain't playable, it ain't nothing.
It's gone. It's out of here. Okay. Yeah. Did I want 3 Cold Foil Phoenix Flames? Phoenix Flame. I get confused. There's Phoenix Flame and Phoenix Form.
Yeah, Phoenix Flame is the
Phoenix Form is the majestic one, that is also in full art. So people, that's like a special thing people want. But someone's like, hey, do you have any extra of this? And every time I think it's the other one. Yeah. Anyways, I wanted 3 of those.
I totally rocked that Phoenix Flame in Vegas. Sold it for $150.
Oh, the Cold Foil. Yeah, that's it's a very good.
What are they at right now? Did I do
don't
well?
know. You did very well. Yeah.
I figured, right? Like it can't be that rare.
I think there depends on where you're sourcing.
Show me what you got on TCG. I want to know how good I did. It's important to take time to feel good about things that you've done.
Yeah, good decisions. You're gonna love this. $50.
All right, I made $100. Cool, right there.
Yeah,
and promptly lost it.
Let's not talk about the craps table. Yeah, let's move on. But the dragons as an example though, compared to the potions, well, it seems look in hindsight, it seems crazy to me to release all those potions and not have an alchemist or something.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the whole difference. I mean, besides the fact that dragons are more exciting than a potion.
Yeah.
Just strictly.
I mean, the potions could be exciting if they were any good.
If they're playable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's an important part of the equation here.
And so, some of them are playable.
I mean, yeah. I mean, you have to wrench every ounce of playability out of those cards and try to find a way for it. It's like Talisman of Warfare and like Dory Axis or whatever. It's like, okay, still, we're paying a card to put a card on the table that might then eliminate another card from your opponent later in the game, maybe. Mm-hmm. There's no deck that really wants to make that exchange. It's a card for a maybe card, and you don't even know if it matters, and you don't even know if it's going to hit your arsenal as well as theirs, so now you can't do it. You can't choose when to trigger it. There's a million reasons these cards could have been better, but they are not.
Yeah, but all that to say, full art Cold Foil Dragon, even if you're never going to play it, is rad.
Wonderful.
This is really rad.
Yeah. I'm not going to put the potion on my window or sit on the wall.
Collectability, how much harder things are to get, but how much easier they are to get from a player perspective. Like that combination of better for players and better for collectors, it really beautiful decision. Like everything about Uprising in terms of buyability, collectability, 2.0, it's like 100 times better. I can't even that's a little hyperbolic, but it's probably at least 10 times better.
It feels sustainable.
Genuinely 10 times better. Yeah.
Hollis, our great friend Hollis here in the chat. I'm just so happy to see your name. I can't even tell you. Been too long from the Netrunner days.
I love how many names we're seeing from previous games we played in this one game.
Yeah,
really
100%
cool.
My first event for Fab was sealed. I was turned off from legendary cards, but draft really changed my mind, and now I enjoy CC as a format just as much. I mean, it's a tale as old as time. You out there listening?
Hey, if it happened to Hollis, it can happen to all of us.
That's right. Man, you been watching Better Call Saul or something? Okay, hold on. I'm going to unplug some cords. I want to see if I can get our monitor back online.
All right, something's going funky. Meantime, anyone have any questions they want me to answer? Because I'll answer them. Someone was speculating this weekend that one fun thing you could do if you have the Yorick, the Bard hero from Pro Tour New Jersey.
Bard.
You know how he shuffles everyone's deck together like a madman?
Yeah, it's my favorite mechanic.
Yeah. Someone was apparently collecting 40 holiday cracked baubles so that they could just play the Bard and then shuffle 40 cracked baubles into the mix.
See, this is the kind of thing that we need to be doing more of. This is what makes Fab worth doing.
I'll tell you what, though, honestly, obviously, I absolutely love competing at Fab. I go to an unbelievable amount of tournaments and play all the time.
It is somewhat unbelievable.
Yeah, it is just it's uncomfortable more than it is unbelievable. But they keep talking about this PvE version of the game that's going to be coming. Last estimate was 2023. The idea of that RPG style, have Bravo or have whatever character playing through and that kind of thing, I can't wait. I might be more excited about that than I am anything else outside of Draconic Runeblade Viscerai. That's the top of the list.
It's happening too, isn't it?
It's totally happening. It's been there the whole time. He's going from purple to red, and the world is going to be right.
I like your enthusiasm for that. Now, tell me what you think about this, though. Do you think we have a limited number of talents, all told? It's only the 3 elements, Shadow, Light, and now we've got, Draconic? Mm-hmm. Is the only one?
I mean, we know, just based on I think there's a talent per region, and there's 8 regions.
Okay.
Because there's the pits and the mech, whatever the mechs are, and then there's the Mysteria, right? Isn't that the ninja up in the mountains?
Yeah, but then you also had some talent, the elemental talents are just 3 talents, actually, kind of, right?
Yeah, but they all function the same way, right? They just have different bonuses.
Effectively. But then you got the 1 Draconic, then you got Shadow Light. So we've seen a region that has 2 talents. We've seen a region that has 2 or 1 with 3 minis. Then we've seen a region that just has one talent, which is all very fascinating. So like all bets are off as to how this is going to go.
They could stacks on stacks, right? It's Talentception, which is like we had Elemental, and then you have the different branches of it. So like Draconic could have different branches someday.
Or could you have a Draconic Elemental Fire hero?
As far as I can tell, Draconic is red pitch, big chains.
Yeah.
Like Chain Link 4 Rupture.
Yeah.
That's the talent?
That's it. Yeah.
I love it.
Red pitch, big chains.
It's actually, yeah, that's right. I'm going to get that tattooed.
Right. Shadows to Monastery. Okay, so that was two locations in one release.
Yeah.
So we don't actually have that many more to go.
Shadow, Light, Elemental, Draconic. Yeah, 4. We're
and
halfway.
Do we have 4 more? And we've got the
that we know of.
We've got the ninja stuff.
There's the
that place.
Wildlands.
Savage Lands, which is awesome. That's gonna be so cool.
Talk about the pits and the mechs.
Pits, metrics, and then the ninja land, Mysteria.
Yeah.
I mean, it's almost here. We're almost fleshed it out. I can't believe we've been here. It feels like a year. It's been a long time, actually.
Well, I'll tell you something really wild. It has been less than a year since I played in my first Flesh and Blood tournament.
Less than a year? Are you serious? How is that possible?
Last August was Road to Nationals. Or last July, August. Yep. All less than a year. We went to Vegas last August/September, whenever that was. The first time.
Was Tails Premiere the first tournament that I went to?
Probably.
That's unbelievable.
Less than a year.
I both hate and love that.
Isn't that wild?
Ugh.
I feel like I have lived so many lives since then.
Yeah, time. Flat circle business.
Meanwhile, I asked people to ask me questions, and they totally ignored chat.
Okay, we don't have a monitor, so in case we don't look good, please let us know. Or let Zach know, I should say. You ready to get into this thing?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's start from the top.
From the top, he says. Okay, let me turn you down a little bit.
Let's see if we can get this to pop correctly.
Now.
Dromai Ash Artist. Actually, the full name. I could not have told you Ash Artist until just now.
Yeah, so we're starting with the boom. We're starting with on the Flesh and Blood Gallery. If you want to follow along, we're starting with the Draconic Illusionist cards, as is their place in the set. I believe this is probably number 1. Yeah, that's correct. So let's talk about Dromai a little bit. So there are 2 abilities here: pitch a red, create an ash, and if you played a red, dragons have go again while attacking. So a couple of things that are notable to me on Dromai. 440, obviously, they've learned this fairly sacred. The wizards kind of blow it out of proportion, and then everything gets weird. Pitching a red card, it's important to remember this. Pitching a red card is inherently the worst card to be pitching.
It's bad.
It's bad.
It's bad.
Right? And you feel that whenever you start playing with Dromai, and you're like, oh, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. And then you realize you're 2 cards deep into a 3-card turn. You haven't done anything yet.
And this, from a couple perspectives on draft, specifically, a huge lesson. Like crazy. You pitch a red a couple times, and then you realize how bad that is. Inherently means that from a draft steal perspective, now constructed, Wildlands. I'm telling you, it's crazy. Dromai, there's a lot of talk going on out there. Dromai's good. She has some matchups, but she's good. All that to say, creating ash by pitching red cards is not what you want to do.
I feel the same way.
You do it if you got to do it.
Yeah.
But you don't do it if you can, like, cards that just create ash by playing them.
Yeah.
Important.
Yeah. Even though they're not very good either. But we'll get there. Also, you got to think turn 0, pitch a bunch of red cards. Your opponent doesn't attack. They try to move to Arsenal. If you pitch a bunch of red cards to do that, to activate abilities, for instance, they can generally come back in and then hit you when you have no cards in hand because you thought you were clever with your Helios Miter play style.
Yeah, I mean, it is a fine pitch 2 reds. Helios have 2 cards left in case they decide to come at you.
Yeah.
But it's risky.
It feels to me like I want to use this ability once and then only ever if it's like I'm needing to do this for an emergency.
Yeah.
So I think this is a trap that a lot of people can get into.
There are times when you can be clever about this, which we'll cover in some of the other cards. But when you pitch to quell 1 with a red, especially when it's something you maybe would have blocked in, maybe you have a dead red card that you're not going to use.
The old dead red.
Instead of wasting it, you pitch it, use quell, prevent the 1 from a Phoenix Flame.
Yeah.
And get the ash token, right?
Yeah. Clever uses for this Unlimited.
Even then, though, is that really when you want to use your quell equipment? Probably not. right? Ninja can send a lot of ones at you, or ones and like fours. So having a blue pitch on a quell equipment means you can prevent one from 3 different sources. So like,
yeah, and then second part of the ability, and this is just specifically for limited up top. We'll do limited and then constructed in order. Second part of the ability is fantastic, obviously, right? But it's not something to evaluate in a vacuum, because it's just, how does Dromai function? How do all these cards work together with this hero? So it's not really even worth rating the hero in so many ways, right? It's just like, this is what they do, and then the card pool is either going to support that in a way that makes that playable or not. Like Leviathan, for instance, you look at that hero and you say, oh, she doesn't take blood debt. That could be amazing, or it could be absolutely worthless. It's the latter a lot of the time these days. But that's not Levia's fault. That's the card pool's fault, right?
Sure.
So I think kind of a general understanding of Dromai is that in Limited, has some very obvious play patterns. You've got small dragons, you've got big dragons, and then you've got the go-again attacks, which we'll look at. But then in Constructed, how are you feeling about Dromai in general? She's got the Furnace. So Furnace then allows a little bit more of that red line stuff to work, but you've also got an icy thing happening with Icelander.
So the issue is
still tough.
Well, we'll talk about Furnace when we get to Furnace. Here's what I'll say about her other half of her ability, and then her in general in both directions, is because of that second part of the ability, red cards with Go Again,
huge,
very valuable to her.
And even like Sigil of Solace red is huge.
And it's important because when we're evaluating Draft and Sealed, like these other cards in the set, it's only in the context of how they work with this triangle of heroes.
Yeah.
Like the value prop on those cards is totally different. Well, I'll cover that when we get to it. The second part is in Constructed. I think she is what I wish Prism had been, the way she's designed.
Yeah, totally.
Just everything about it.
It plays within the game system itself.
Yeah,
right?
Like you attacking a dragon, not meaning Go Again doesn't resolve, which means that it doesn't end your turn, but it's still something you have to waste an attack on.
Yeah.
And, unless you are Fi with a weapon that can actually swing, wasting cards that do damage on something that is not your opponent's health is a risky proposition.
Yeah.
Because you're only going to have so much damage you can actually sling their direction.
Yeah.
But in Constructed, I think there've been a couple different versions of this deck popping up. We had a Road to Nationals weekend this past weekend, and you see her popping up. I don't know if she won any, but she's top 4.
Yeah, I think there's been some decks floating around.
And there's like a heavy defensive version, which is not surprising from an Illusionist.
Yeah, right.
She's one of the few heroes that can build a board state. So don't take damage and build the board state. And your opponent, if they start attacking your board state, now it's just giving you time to keep building. But at some point, you have all these defensive cards, and they're not going to get through it. Conversely, there's like a more aggro version. The red go again stuff is the Draconic way.
Yeah, and then you ask, are you the fastest? Or sometimes with Illusionists, it's not am I the fastest, but am I getting faster over time? Because like you're basically playing Phantasm Heralds that stay on the board. And so if your opponent doesn't do anything about that, you will become the fastest deck.
You definitely will. But all that to say, we need to evaluate the rest of the set, and also more time with Constructed to really rate her. But from a art plus cool dragons plus, I mean, she looks awesome.
Yeah.
Theme wise, like this character.
Yeah. How does it strike you as a human being? What would you rate this? 1 to 5 stars.
5 stars.
5 stars.
5 stars. Yeah.
Wow, you're gonna get the Ric Flair on that one.
I mean, we basically have like a Dark Side Daenerys situation. Right. I mean, it's just right in the pocket.
That is right up your alley.
If you like mixed late stage Angry Daenerys with like Kylo Ren and it leaned female, this is the character that comes out.
And I will say I'm with you on this. I love the play style. I will say in relation to Prism, Prism feels more like an illusionist in that weird things are happening all the time. Yeah. You're attacking stuff and then it's not there. Oh my gosh, your attacking stuff is not there. It's weird. Spectra creates all sorts of rules problems, but it also feels more illusionist. This feels like a person who has a lot of dragons like Daenerys Targaryen.
Yeah.
There's no real illusion element feeling to this. It's just, she's got a dragon army. Cool.
Yeah, which is interesting.
Yeah. But I think they are illusions. But I don't know. They're illusionist allies.
Cards. They're allies.
But does that make them illusions? Probably not. I mean, they're not Spectra. They're just dragons.
Yeah.
She's just got them.
I think she's got dragons.
She just got them.
Yeah.
So moving on. I love this hero, by the way.
You see John the Bard just pulled the Blood of the Drakai in my TC box. Y'all must have been weighing them for good customers.
I wish we could say that we did that. Maybe we should.
I don't think they weigh any different.
No. They're just cards after all. All right, let's move on through it.
There's nothing like opening a Fable.
Let's start first. Official card of the set: Storm of Sandakai. This is literally a non-evaluation. It is a part of the hero ability of Dromai.
Yeah.
Basically, your dragons can attack. If you don't have it, she, as far as I can tell, would be more or less unplayable.
They are illusions, by the way. I just realized because the ash attaches to them.
Oh, right. They become phantasms. So they're giant dragons made out of sand. Or ash, I guess.
Or thoughts.
But what is ash? And the ash is...
ash is like the ingredient to make the illusion happen somehow.
Because you burn something. It's the Draconic way. It's like a ritual, and then you make an ash dragon.
I don't know. Do not know. Anyways,
I'd like to know more about that in a lore book, maybe.
This weapon does look cool.
Yeah, Storm of Sandakai. I'm not even rating it. It's just may as well be Dromai's hero ability. Moving on to the first real card of the set, Silken Form.
We made it.
This is an equipment, arms. It has Quell 1, which is always notable. This is extremely notable in Limited. I think it's a very underrated ability off the on the face of it when you first see it. Destroy Silken Form, transform target ash you control into an Aether Ashwing as an instant. Zach, I'm going to tell you, I love this piece of equipment. I love it very much. I love it because you can maximize your use of Quell on a blue and then still get the benefit of turning the Ashwing in. I think it's the only Quell equipment that does that.
Yeah.
So in terms of maximum value, I think this is high on my list.
You can also do kind of clever things against a wizard with this, which is they come at you with their arcane damage. You can actually Quell 1, use it, pop, get the token.
Make a thing, get AB1, and then use another AB on the replacement effect.
Because you can instant on top of it and do all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, you know kind of that it happens. We're not sure how.
Maybe not, though, because Quell is when you're being dealt damage.
Yeah. So basically what you can do, though, is like, oh, you're right. Yeah.
I don't think the timing works.
Yeah, no, because it's a replacement effect. So it wouldn't work.
Yeah.
They thought of that.
So you'd have to...
Did somebody do that to you?
No. You'd have to Quell 1.
It's just an idea you had at night one day?
It just felt like it should work. So if you Quell 1 after that situation happens, then like you're saying, at the end of the turn, you can, before it goes away, because Quell's going to destroy it, use it to create an ash.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. And I love that because I love feeling like I got the maximum use out of it. When I was playing in the world premiere, that was one of the big moments, is pitch a blue, particularly a blue 2 block, block 3, and then actually transform.
So how many stars do you give this one?
In the grand scheme of things, I think for Limited, this is probably a 4-star territory for me. I think this helps me go Dromai in a limited pool. Mm-hmm. In Constructed, I doubt, like so many of these pieces of equipment, I doubt that it ultimately gets gets played much.
I will say, if there were 10 stars, this would be a 9-star for me.
You're that big on it.
Yeah, it's not a 10.
Unlimited or Constructed?
Limited.
Okay, limited.
So to me, it's like a 4.3.
We don't have a 4.3 star.
So it would be a 4-star. Amazon? It would be a 4-star.
You're on 4 stars.
Yeah.
So we're agreed. 4 stars on Silken Form. Okay.
Well, finally, we have agreed on something.
Yeah.
Then Constructed, I totally agree. I mean, literally in Constructed, 1 star.
Okay.
And not spiteful.
Yeah.
Like, it's okay that that's the case. It's a common piece of equipment.
Yeah.
But it's definitely 1 star for me.
Yeah, who knows? It might get there. Sometimes those stubbies still get in some decks, You never know what's going to happen.
This next one's going to be a hot topic.
Let's talk about Burn Them All. Great joke, by the way.
There,
has go again. It's a 3 block.
I had my oats this morning.
Once per turn, when a dragon attacks, it deals 1 arcane damage to each opposing hero. Obviously, dragon you control. And at the beginning of your end phase, put a raise counter on Burn Them All, then destroy it unless you banish red card from your graveyard for each raise counter on it. So you get it for free the first time. And then if you want it to stay around, you've got to banish 1 red card. Am I right on that? Yeah, the raise counter's on. And then you get 2 damage, and you got to banish 2 cards to keep it around. And then you get 3 damage. Is this right? No, 1 damage, 1 damage. 1 damage, banish 1. 1 damage, banish 2. 1 damage, banish 3.
There you go.
So by the time you're banishing 5 cards, you will get 4 damage out of this card because it would go away on the 4th arcane. If you don't honor the raise counters. So would you banish 5 cards out of your graveyard to get 4 arcane damage?
2 things. 1, in chat, our friend Pock says there were 3 copies of this in the Dromai list that won an RTN this weekend. So 1, Dromai did win an event this weekend.
Okay.
2, there were 3 copies of this card in the deck.
Yeah.
Point number 3 that I want to make is that on Twitter, Tarek national champion, U.S. national, current reigning national champion.
Rick Brickataric.
Yeah. We need an alternate bric-a-brac that has him on it.
Knack, Bricka Patel.
He, in response, someone's asked if this card was tier 1 or unplayable, and I said, depends on the deck and the matchup. I think it could be really good, actually.
Yeah, everyone hates anyone that says that.
Yeah, well, I'm often hated on Twitter.
How moderate.
Yeah. If you go to the Fab TCG hashtag on Twitter, people hate me. No, but he said, I'm getting to the main point. He said that this is a near unplayable card.
Yeah.
Period.
Well, he's wrong.
I think this card it's like could be insane, and here's why. If you actually are trying to play for a late game Dromai situation, you pitch this card, create the Ash, and you can do that with any red, so that's not like a benefit. When people are like, it doesn't matter, you can always pitch it. So
right. No, we don't go there. You can always block for 3 as well.
Yeah, okay, yeah. It does block for 3, that helps, ironically.
Yeah.
But the reality is, when you have 40 cards in your discard pile, banishing cards in discard pile isn't a cost.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
So all that is saying is, this is only really playable after turn 7.
Sure.
So the question mark for me about this card at this very second, and it's better now than it was, is how often are your games going 15 turns?
Because you can reap the value out of it.
If they're going 15 turns, you put this down on turn 5, it's probably going to stay out 4, 5, 6 turns. So if the game is going 15 turns, this is a 5-6 damage card.
Yeah.
For nothing.
Which is what we're looking at. I mean, that's good math in this case. Incredible math.
Remember.
And it's arcane.
0 cost, red, go again.
Yeah.
So this, literally playing this means all your dragons now have go again, and you're off to the races on your turn. And then the first time you attack, it does the arcane. So at worst, this is a get go again and come in for 1 arcane.
Yeah.
And then
1 dragon attack, so you come in for you're turning on the dragon, right?
Yeah, that's right. So like if they pop it, then now you're in this whole different territory.
You could swing the dragon anyway. So it's only 1 damage. Yeah.
But anyways, so I think that's the big question. Can your deck actually make the game go 15, 20 turns? In which case, by turn 8 or 9, you can put 2 of these things on the table and keep them out for a while.
Yeah, it could be a win con. I don't know. Yeah, it's got huge potential, man. It's really good card design. It's really good, isn't it? Because it's like you can't overtly be like, this is incredible. Yeah. It's not like that what is that, chain card, Soul Reaping or whatever. You look at
that's like the card that is always going to get mentioned.
You look at Soul Reaping, it's like you just pulled the slot machine and then everything is 7s, and you're like, well, that's probably pretty good. Mm-hmm. But this one is like you've got like a cherry over here, and it's like, well,
you're really going slot machine.
Depending on how the game works, because sometimes you look at a slot machine poll, because we were in Vegas recently, and you're like, there's a mishmash of things on the screen, and the game is very excited about it. They're blinking, and everything's crazy. I didn't know what it was trying to do, but look, it was good for me.
I've literally never once played slots and known what was happening.
Yeah, no. It's just a lot of sounds, and then sometimes the number goes up.
Yeah.
But mostly it goes down. So burn them all. In limited...
So the other thing is important here.
Tell me about your limited rating.
Low.
2? It blocks for 3.
Speaking of blocks, hold on.
Blocked for 3, man.
I need to block some people on YouTube.
Blocked for 3.
Sorry for the spam. It's just
they've been. Oh wait, did we? Hold on. Did we save our settings? Let me make sure our settings are saved. Go ahead, yeah.
In limited, it's like a 2-star card.
Okay, you're on 2 there.
The reason I say that is, it costs 0, it's red, and it blocks for 3, and it has go again.
Okay.
So it's a turn starter that you can block with, and that's about it. And if you have dragons out, like, it's fine. Like, if you get late game, like if you pitch this, whatever, and then like you come back around, you play it, it could be some arcane damage. Also, arcane damage is way harder to stop. Again, in the non-Dromai match.
You can't know, but you can't even pitch, or you could quell for it, I guess. But you don't want to be blocking arcane damage on this.
So all that to say, I mean, it's like probably 2-star.
Yeah, it's probably 2. It's certainly not 1-star.
It's just not bringing enough. Would I play it if I drafted it? Yes.
Yeah.
Would I want to? No.
Yeah.
Not if I could help it.
2-star.
So I'm on a 2-ish star.
Now that said, okay, stick with me though for a second. Stick with me for a second.
Depends on how many red go against I have, that kind of thing.
So it's 5th turn of the game in limited. You've been blocking a lot. You've been swinging back with a dragon or 2. They're at 7. You're at 4. and your turn is play burn them all, swing with a baby dragon. You're 1 card. That's all it is. And keep it around, right? So now that's like, oh, well, they take 1, and there's 1 more, and it's like, well, I don't want to block a card on that, and I'm on a quell or whatever. So they lose 2. The rest of the game, you can just block with 4 cards and swing a baby dragon for 2 damage, like 1 and 1. So isn't it potentially a way to close out a game in limited as well?
Potentially.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I will say that if I was looking at this, and we'll go through all the other cards in a second, versus any number of other cards that are playable in Dromai, this is not the card I'm like from a draft perspective.
You would get, for instance, Scar for Scar red over Burn Them All.
If it's pack 1.
See, I don't know, man.
Scar is like first 5 cards I would pick.
Mm-hmm.
This is the last 5 cards. Like when I'm getting that stack of 5 and no one wanted to draft this.
That's true.
I'll take it. I'll play it. It's fine. But like, there's no way I'm taking this over like something that attacks for 6.
Sure.
Because Poppin's hot. The other thing, there's no way I'm taking this over like Rake the Embers.
Rake the Embers is a good card. You got pitch for it. Though,
let's carry on. Constructed wise though, I would say like 3.5, so 4 stars ish. 3 to 4 stars.
That's heavy. That's a big deal.
I think it's very, if you're building that style of deck in Constructed, where you're trying to go longer and you're trying to build value and you're trying to like make it a 15-turn game, which makes sense from someone that builds their board, right? You need time to get a board established, and the longer that board is on the table, the more of an advantage you get from just existing.
Yeah.
In that case, and it's from Illusionist, right? So how much AB are you playing against Illusionist ever?
Maybe 1 now.
Maybe.
But probably not.
No way.
Well, maybe for that in that weird 1 card where when you pop a shield, you take a thing. Merciful in the game. I forget it always.
Yeah, you're
gets
in
me.
Against Prism.
Yeah.
But it's not happening against.
If the winning decks have 3 of these in them, you may reconsider your strategy.
Yeah, but even just it existing for that reason it makes it a great. I love this card because it's like, oh well, now you have to. No, I'm not going to honor it, but literally you can imagine I'm not honoring it. We get down to that grind at the end. I'm at like 2 health, and then you're like burn them all. It's like, oh no.
Yeah, it's like it subverts the grind that you were expecting to be in the end game, particularly in limited. And that's what has me interested in it. I don't know as far as draft strategy where that fits in, but there's something really notable. Even if this card is the first, you pitched it at the very beginning of the game, and it's your first on the second cycle, and you just block 9, play burn them all, and swing for 1 and 1. The dynamic of that game has changed so fundamentally at that point.
At that point, you could also swing with all of your dragons.
If you have a few, yeah. And if you have a few Ashwings.
I think one of the questionable pieces of value, though, is like, in my experience, you do not have very many dragons out for very long at any point ever against anybody.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where it gets hit and miss for me.
Yeah.
Like when you just need the card to do anything.
Because it might do nothing. And then even if it does nothing, at the beginning of your phase, you always put a raise counter on, no matter if it was activated or not.
Yeah.
So that is a problem.
That's the tough part. It's just going to be inconsistent.
Yeah.
And like, if you can routinely get dragons out, that's cool. But that's where like you're not going to pick this over a dragon.
Mm-hmm.
Right? You're not going to pick this over anything that creates ash or creates ash wings.
All right, I'm with you.
And it's just not going to show up that much. It's majestic, so you're not even going to have that choice very often. But I definitely rate it more highly in Constructed because you can build. It's a card you build around.
Yeah,
is exactly what that card's for.
Yeah, I would go, if you forced me to it, I would go 2 stars in draft. I would go maybe 3 stars in sealed. Because you don't have it. It's not like you're choosing it over something else. But if I see this, I'd be like, that could be a weird way to win some Dromai games that I otherwise wouldn't. I'd be curious to tell. We need to test that a lot too.
I absolutely would rate it more highly if we were mid to late draft and I needed more red go again.
Sure.
Like it being red go again that blocks for 3.
It fits a template.
Yeah, but I'm just not picking it over any of the other options.
The core cards, yeah. Little cherry on top. I don't know. It has so much potential. It's terrifying.
Yeah, and it comes in cold foil, so that's all you need to know.
Let's talk about Invoke Dracona Optimi.
A very good pronunciation there.
This is a majestic. Isn't this like the biggest dragon?
Yeah, he's the big.
And then you have
5/4.
Tomel Man.
Tomotai.
So Invoke Dracona Optimi costs 6. So that already puts it in an interesting category for Dromai, doesn't it? This is 3 cards to get this thing out. And let's just look at Dracona Optimi, the dragon itself. Whenever it attacks a hero, this is Dracona Optimi. We'll see if I can get the robot to do it. It's very difficult to have a machine that understands these things.
Well, especially because there's 2 cards of the same thing in it.
So whenever it attacks a hero, reveal the top 3 cards of your deck. Deal arcane damage equal to twice the number of red cards revealed this way to them or an ally they control. So let's just say you attack for 6. You get 6 additional on top. So this could be an attack for 12, yeah?
Split damage, too.
I mean, the upside here is tremendous.
Yeah.
And who's attacking for 6 these days? Brutes?
Against illusions, everyone. You put depends. It really depends.
But they're just going to pop it if they have the 6, right? On that front.
Right. Yeah. You got to have 6s in deck. That's the way this gets defeated is either a 6 or someone that can go really wide and just give them a couple punches.
Yeah, and at least you get the arcane damage trigger before the pop happens.
Totally. This would be unplayable otherwise.
So 4 to 6 arcane for 3 cards.
Yeah. If this guy did 2 arcane, he's probably on curve. 6 physical, 2 arcane happening.
Yeah. But poppable.
Definitely. But if they don't, in draft and sealed, if they don't have a pop in hand, it's disgusting.
It's probably like this is one of the first true bomb cards in Flesh and Blood, isn't it?
I think draft and sealed. Well, so
in limited, I should say.
In limited, if he hits the table, and you don't have a pop, I can't imagine winning unless you're already so far ahead.
Yeah.
The other thing is, it is very difficult in a Dromai deck to pay 6.
Absolutely.
Like,
unless you have this, and then it's like, I got to run more blues, but then your entire world is this, and then if they pop it, that's a problem.
Yeah, this dragon is big enough that even if you stop having red go again cards, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, just swing with this thing.
Swing for 6, reveal, right?
Yeah, reveal the top 3. And it's kind of an awkward anti-synergy here that it's presenting with itself, where you want more blues so you can play the double for 6, but then that's going to lower your ability to hit reds.
The other thing
they love doing that in this game, by the way.
This ability is immediately turned off as soon as you run out of deck. Which happens. So if your strategy is like play the long game, get this guy out, pitch stack the reds, and make sure you're hitting the reds every time.
Yeah.
It's great, and then the gas is going to run out of this thing.
Yeah.
Like specifically, but it's a bomb. I think it's worth noting there's 3 Majestic Dragons. All of them are legendary, so you can only run 1 in a deck for constructed purposes. In draft and sealed, I feel like it is a bomb. I just think it's probably the least good of the legendary dragons because it's so expensive and it's conditional on what it's doing.
Yeah, I feel that. I mean...
But look at this Marvel version.
Oh, Dracona Optimi Marvel? Dude, these look so good.
It is disgusting.
They really made it.
That's what I'm saying. This set is so crazy.
They hit you right in the lizard brain.
The dragon brain?
Maybe the dragon brain is a better way to put that. Okay, so ultimately, rankings in limited. Here's how at least I would approach this in limited. You have more experience in limited at this point, although you're not going to see this card a lot in a limited environment. It's very tantalizing that there is a card that no matter how good or bad your opponent's deck is, if they don't have a Phantasm Popper, your odds probably go way higher because they're probably looking at 8 to 12 damage on your turn. And then if they want to get this off the table, they're probably looking at you're taking no damage and get a 4-card hand.
Yeah.
That's a huge swing in limited.
If you can actually play this card and they don't have a popper.
Yeah, because a lot of times you can't hold 3 cards or even 2 with this in the arsenal. You got hold your 2 blues, you block 6, but maybe that puts you too close to lethal. They don't even have to kill this. They just have to slam into your...
Yeah. So if it hits the table, though, I have a heart and they don't have a popper, it seems impossible to lose. Because you're coming for probably 8 to 12 on no cards.
Yeah.
Until they deal with it.
Yeah.
And like Icelander it'd be a nightmare.
Yeah.
It's like how are you gonna kill this thing? You better have a popper.
Yeah, what does she have to do? She has to swing 2 spells at it, right? Spell plus wand? No, just wand's only hero.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, what does she do?
I don't know.
She has to have 6s.
You gotta run 6s, yeah.
Wow.
In sealed. I mean, she will try. Everyone's trying to get the poppers.
You will try.
But like, yeah, it's a backbreaking card.
Okay.
But it's also like, again, do you want consistency or do you want a bomb?
I think I want a bomb.
Yeah. Can you imagine? Just imagine with me. You're like, you draw this thing and 3 blues on your opening turn. Helios, or you have to have a red. So you 2 blues, this, and a red. And it's like, if you could somehow create an Ash and get this guy out on turn 1, it's just like...
You totally could, right?
I don't know how it's possible, actually, in sealed.
Yeah. You could pitch to Quell if they attack you.
On their turn 1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On their turn.
Then
I don't know that. Yeah, I don't know that you could do it on your turn 0. There's got to be a way.
Yeah.
There's got to be a way, man.
Yeah, I'm thinking.
There's got to be a 1. There's got to be a 1 ability that you could trigger.
Well, you have to pitch a red, right? That's the problem. So
it's got to be on equipment.
You have to have equipment that is 1 cost something.
I think this is a solid 3 stars in limited.
I would say, you know what? It's funny.
It's either 1 or 5, depending on the deck.
We were in the moment, and it's time and place. We were this weekend on the old Wolfpack server. We were doing this thing where we fill out the spreadsheet and give a from 1 to 10.
Hold on a second. Is this a genuine Wolfpack update?
A genuine Wolfpack update. Here we go.
The furnace.
So we had a spreadsheet. We have a spreadsheet with a list of all the cards from Uprising, and we're all doing it independently, not talking to each other. Give each card a 1 to 10 rating. 1 is unplayable. 10 is you're going to draft this over everything else from a limited perspective. At the time, I was like, I don't really know enough. Like the granularity of 1 to 10 doesn't matter to me because like 1 to 5 would probably get it done. Because like, what's the difference between 8 and 9? But every time we're using the 1 to 5 here, I would have complained either way. Because a 1 to 5, I'm like, this card, 2.5, right? 2.5. This is a 5, which is perfectly playable.
And then you got to make people make decisions.
And then it's like, you know what? 2 stars for me.
Decimal points, a total cop out. What about constructed? This has got to be, if it's in the sideboard at all, it's coming in for anybody who does not have 6s.
Yeah.
Like I was struggling as Ranger in Azalea during Tails. It was Tails whenever. No, it was during Monarch. Whenever Chain was running wild. I had no 6s.
That sentence could apply to pretty much any.
Yeah, true. I had no 6s in class, right? So like it was like I bring CNC and maybe Yellow Ravaging Onslaught or whatever. So in a situation where your opponent is like dying to have 6s because their class just doesn't do it, that's going to be difficult.
But at this point, you got CNC. We get a race face. We have Nourishing Emptiness.
But how many people are sideboarding all that stuff?
Depends on how popular.
So meta dependent is what you're saying.
So someone asked me this weekend. This is a tangent that's worth exploring. Whether or not Fab was a game that could be mathematically solved. If you could actually decide what are the best cards and what are the best decks based on math. And I think one of the geniuses behind the design of what's happening here, the number of classes and towns and all this stuff, is there are so many decks. Like as an example, Old School Bravo, one of my favorite heroes from the very beginning. I'm on like 9 months of not ever taking him to a tournament because Prism not only exists, but is relatively popular.
Yeah.
So like the thing here is the same math, which is, Dorinthia is really popular. Is Ninja really popular right now? It's like, they don't. We're
going to invoke Dracona.
They just don't have 6s built in.
Yeah.
But if Guardian is popular,
you don't run this.
It's so hard.
Don't run this. Maybe not Dromai at all.
Yeah, and the other thing is you can't even build a deck around these guys because you have 1.
Yeah. So constructed, what is this? A 2? 2 stars?
I'll give it a 3. It's playable. If it fits your curve and you're not like, I don't know, it's 1 card. Like if you're trying to build the big board precedents that they have to have an answer to, and I think a lot of times you would probably be playing this in a scenario where you don't have to immediately attack with it. and you can like do fun things to make sure that you're not going to get.
I'll tell you what, though,
popped.
I would be scared spending 3 cards on something that they then just kill.
Yeah, it would be bad.
Like, even they just spent one card, a pitch and spend 2 cards to kill a thing. You spent 3
easy,
cards.
Though. Easy.
Speaking about
I
math.
got the answer for you. It's easy.
Yeah.
You just get a bunch of dragons out. You swing a bunch of time.
Yeah, that's what everyone wants to do.
Then you play that instant that lets you draw 2 cards if you have 4 chains. We'll get to that Tome of Fire brand or something.
Mm-hmm.
Then there's no cards because you just got them for free.
And then you play it, yeah. And
I mean, it's
free cards cost
honestly,
you no cards.
If it didn't look so cool and it wasn't a dragon, I'd probably give it a 2. But
So we're agreed, 2 stars.
It's a 2-star, but it's a 3-star for theme. You know what I mean?
We're agreed, it's 2 stars. Case closed.
All right, let's get to this next.
It's a bomb in limited, though. I mean, it could be a 5 in limited. Depending on when it happens, it's all context.
Yeah, but a true 5 is a 5 all the time. You know what I mean?
I don't know. Does that even exist in the world anymore?
For some reason, there's this new trend on Twitter happening right now. I was going to ask, have you seen the trend on Twitter?
Now, hold on a second. Before you even get there, can you please explain to me how Twitter made it out of this whole thing the cool platform again? How did that happen? Because, I was, bamboozled this entire time because it was awful forever. When I was okay at first, like everything. And then it got really awful. But then it became less awful than everything else, which I think made it cool. Is that true?
It's just because it stayed exactly where it was the whole time.
Kinda, yeah. They
So, Facebook did this.
Yeah.
Very usable. How cool. I can stay connected with all my high school friends.
Yeah, yeah.
Then at some point, it's like...
Nobody was asking for that, really.
You know what? I don't know. And then, all the ads and all the stuff, and it just, tanked under. But, Twitter's just...
And all the, ethics questions, et cetera.
And privacy and all that stuff. But, I don't know. I didn't know Twitter became cool again.
It's cool now.
Really?
Yeah. I feel like for me to figure out what's going on in Flesh and Blood, I have to be on Twitter now.
Dude, that FabTCG hashtag that's half my feed. So the thing that they, I think, got right is what you actually see in your feed. And the problem that made people not like it for a long time, it was very unintuitive to, get to the point where it was awesome.
Yeah.
But if you had been around or you understood it or were willing to put in the work to make your feed awesome, and you understood how to manipulate the robots,
it was meant to be manipulated. Right?
Yeah.
It's an algorithm.
Then my feed right now is amazing. It's a lot of positivity, a lot of good stories.
Is Instagram not cool anymore?
I don't know. It never made sense to me.
It seems like Instagram is now just reposts of TikTok.
The problem now that we're in the social segment of this,
and TikTok is just it has missed me.
I feel like we should have a
I can't
this
do
is
it.
us being old men.
I just can't do
banner
it.
that comes
Zach.
across
it's
for some of these conversations.
I can't get into it. It's just
So Instagram. The weird thing about Instagram to me, there's an artsy part to me, which is okay, beautiful photos of things.
Yeah,
that's cool, and you can't really have the big text conversations like Facebook. It was a nice, different vibe. But the weirdest part is Instagram just offers me no value. Mm-hmm. There's some where it's weird stuff. I don't have a good example.
If it was just all pretty pictures, I think I would get into it.
Which you can do.
But now it's flashing lights and everybody's yelling at
National
me and there's
Geographic,
text
and you can
all
follow
over this
photographers and artists and stuff.
And nobody even posts anymore. They do these stories. Mm-hmm. What's the story mean? What is that? Just an Instagram post except smaller and
Instagram
temporary?
Video post that only your followers see and it doesn't show up in hashtags and it goes away after 24 hours.
See? That's not a value prop. I don't even know what that means.
Anyways, Instagram eventually became just not valuable to me because it's just people posting pictures of either
dogs, kids,
themselves, their significant other.
Yeah, gross.
Which is fine to an extent, but it's also just I get it. You're in Bermuda. It's cool. Tell me about it. What you know what?
I like words.
Me too.
Is that old fashioned?
That's why I like Twitter. I like words, but I also don't like this brick of words on Facebook from Uncle Sam.
Yeah. Right.
But the thing I was gonna say is I feel like one thing social media didn't understand at first was it tried to become the thing instead of facilitating the interaction. So getting to know people a little bit on Twitter so that when I see them in person, we have something to talk about is different than I know everything that's happened to Steven in his life in the past 2 months. So when we get together, I have nothing to talk about.
Yeah, would that be a concern?
It's how was your trip to, France? It's I already know.
Yeah,
because
you saw the
you
whole
gave me
thing.
minute by minute updates. What were you doing?
Yeah.
You should have just been enjoying your trip. Anyways, I digress.
Apparently, people are getting back into the anonymous online presence thing.
Yeah, the kids.
I
Smart.
read an article, so like it's already aimed at like 50-year-olds. But
how does this work?
I read an article, if you can believe it, Genuine Journalism, about how that was a big thing that was sweeping the social media thing with the kids. 16-year-olds, 15-year-olds. They don't want to be publicly online. They want it to be screen names, usernames. You don't want me to know who I am. I don't want to post pictures of my stuff. I don't want to know where my house is or what it looks like. I don't want you to know what my pets are.
There's an upside to that, but they don't understand the downside of that either.
I don't either.
You remember when we were on the old Rebel Basis forum and then some random account, this is from him, could come on and just say whatever they wanted and be rude and like...
Yeah, you just ban them.
Yeah, but like...
At least I don't have to believe that they're a real person.
There is something, and I'm fine with anonymous accounts, by the way, but like on Twitter, if your name is on it and you're posting it, there's something to that.
Like ownership.
Yeah, it's like it's here.
Yeah, you can't just flame somebody and not have a level of accountability, I suppose.
Yeah, all that to say, there's a trend on Twitter that I don't particularly enjoy. People tweeting like, he's a 10, but... than some negative quality that he's got, or she's a 10, like 10 out of 10 stars. You know, we're doing the star thing. And I was going to ask if you had seen it because we're doing the whole star rating thing. But
no,
all that
you wouldn't believe the rock I live under, honestly.
All that to say,
this is the most excited I get on a daily basis. This card
is a 5-star card, except for the fact that sometimes it's absolutely unplayable.
Yeah, right. Otherwise, it's great. Let's talk about Invoke Tumulti.
I'm so glad you're the one reading those names.
Man, it's because this is what I'm talking about. This is text-based things. I do text well. I'm an English guy as the language. Invoke Tumulti.
Mark is making a perfect example saying she's a 10, but she plays Prism. You know, because that's obviously a character flaw. Go ahead.
Yeah. I gotta say, not sad I'm not there. Legendary. You can only have one in here. And transform an Ash into Tumulti. Same math as Invoke Dracona Optimi here. It's 5 cost. Is that really different than 6? No, it's 2 cards. Either way you slice it. You can run yellows, which nobody likes to do for whatever reason. They're kind of the in-between cards, right?
Yeah, they're not maximizing either value.
Which is funny because the most common size ordered in America is the medium.
Which is always the least valuable proposition.
That's right.
Every time.
Well, here we go.
Like,
We're just round and round.
All right, hey, this is going to be a weird stream.
I mean, I'm here for the next couple hours, I think.
You know how we...
just got to sink into this, aren't we?
So last week we had the Fab Pack out, and towards the end we had those fruit smoothies. So I was looking up the nutritional info after the fact because I was just curious.
Usually a lot of sugar, actually.
That actually wasn't bad.
Good.
So in the entire smoothie that I had was only like 340 calories or something. But they also have something on there. We didn't order it. It was like by the scoop. And I just happened to notice.
Dude, you asked those bowls. You can get those smoothie bowls.
Those look good.
They're delicious.
Yeah. So 1 scoop was like 330 calories. 2 scoops was 430 calories.
How do they front load the calories like that?
Well, I don't think the second scoop's quite so big. That's what I'm saying. Medium's the worst.
Ooh, yeah.
2 scoops, medium is the worst option. You either get the small fry or the large fry.
But the smallest has the entry
fries.
cost, right? So 2 smalls is definitely not going to be less expensive than a medium.
No. You want the basket.
So you want a little bit more, but you don't want
the extra
2
large.
smalls. Telling you,
Can I
man.
get that 64-ounce cup, please?
And let me tell you, too, there are so many people like my folks. I realized, Mom was talking about credit cards, and she was like, I've had this credit card for 25 years. I was like, oh, what kind of rewards do you get? It's like, none. And I was like, you could be getting 1 to 2% off your entire life for the past 15 years at least.
You know what's really
and you're not doing it?
Like right now, one of my cards had a thing that was like, hey, for the next 3 months, you get 5% back on hotels.
Yeah.
It's like awfully convenient. I'm about to go to France and go to multiple cities.
Yeah.
5% back. I can't believe it. You got to at least be getting 1% back.
That's maybe $1,000 in France. Who knows?
I hope not. Lil, actually, quite affordable.
So what does this one do? Tumulti. Let's look at Tumulti, the standard. 5/5. Whenever Tumulti attacks a hero, reveal the top 2 cards of your deck. If 1 or more red cards are revealed this way, put that many -1 counters on an equipment they control. Then if it has 0 armor, destroy it. I'm going to tell you something. The ability to destroy equipment...
Melt armor.
is starting to come into fashion. We're seeing it more and more. Shatter was a way to do it poorly, and this is a way to do it well because you can guarantee that it's going to happen the moment this comes out with no... It's going to happen.
You have to flip a red, though.
It's going to happen. 2 cards. Even if you don't flip a red, you get a 0 off, don't you? Or do you have to do 1? If 1 or more red cards are revealed, then if it has 0 destroys, you have to flip at least 1 red. Out of 2 cards,
Roll the dice.
half every deck is reds anyway.
66% of every deck is red, at least.
Yeah.
A lot of times people are on 15 blues, right? So 75 red.
You've just played Sonata Arconics too many times. You know that you can reveal 8 cards and not hit the right ratio.
This is not guaranteed in the least.
But the percentage times it's going to hit is still there, and it's high.
The percentage time it's going to miss if you were at 66% red is 1 in 9. So 1 out of 9 times when you activate this card. So if it's a 7-round tournament with a cut to top 8, you make it to the top 4. One of your games, if you attack with this thing once per game, it's going to miss.
Yeah.
But every other time, it is delicious.
Yeah, so this hits so many good things.
Oh my goodness, man. It burns them down, dude.
It gives you the chance to do it right away. Even if they pop it, you still get the ability. It's always going to generate, it's most of the time going to generate a ton of value. Most of the time going to generate some value. Because they got to block it, or they've got to pop it, so it's going to get a card out of hand.
Block it or pop it.
Block it or pop it.
I've always said it.
And if you get a notable piece of equipment in CC, and they have to pop it or kill it, that's a pretty good exchange, regardless of the damage that's coming in, right?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I think this is notable.
So, and another notable piece of this, in Constructed particularly, is it's got 5 health.
Yeah.
So a lot of the go wide decks, 4 is the magic number.
Yeah.
So they have to do some work to get rid of this thing. Plus, you obviously get to use it once, and the effect happens.
Yeah.
Straight up.
That's the thing that's notable about it.
Yeah. So to me, in Constructed, this is like on a 5-star scale, 4 bordering 5 stars. It's probably a 4-star, but like if it was a 10-point scale, this is a 9.
I'm with you on that. It's 4 stars.
You also have to build.
Agree.
This is a build to it a little bit. It has to fit the curve of whatever you're doing or the style of whatever you're doing.
Yeah.
But I think it's super powerful, and honestly, even in limited, I think it's pretty good.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it's 4-star good.
You think it's more playable than Dracona Optimi? Is it more of a bomb? Let's say that.
No.
No, right?
No.
Yeah, it's close.
But it can be very you could literally clear the armor. Like you can get rid of something with 0 armor.
Yeah.
So it depends on what armor they've got, which is why it's less. The other one is just you control it. It's the reds. But I would probably also give this like the 2.5-star treatment.
Mm-hmm.
But it is slightly easier to play. You're going to end up on some yellows. You don't have to have 2 blues. Or like a blue and 2 reds in a single hand can actually play this.
Yeah.
Create 2 ash. Do your whole thing.
Yeah.
So it has its up strikes and gutters. You know what I mean?
So we're saying I think it's a solid 4 in Constructed. Limited 3. You saying 3 stars here?
I'm probably we said the other one was a 2-star, right?
If you get this card in one of your 6 packs and sealed, do you say I probably just have to play Dromai?
It depends on the rest of the cards.
Come on, man.
I think the other one is more of a.
Why don't you just commit to something?
No, not doing it. It depends on the rest of the cards. It's too, so you get.
I think I would lean there, like immediately be like, if I can make this work, I've got a bomb card here, and it kills stuff before it can quell, right? Because it's happening when it attacks, puts it on the stack, resolves it before the attack goes through. I like it. I'm with you though. I'll go 3 stars on it. 3 stars.
That Marvel looks so good.
Doesn't it look great?
Now this
reminds me of the Outsider and Sky Tier so much. 100%. It's like alarming.
That particular one.
Yeah.
The Invoke Domenia. This is my favorite one of the Majestic.
Also, when Oscar asking, does it destroy equipment with 0 starting block? It does. Yes. Yeah. So like you think about it, destroys Crown. You get a red. It destroys Phantasmal Footsteps. It destroys. What's the other? It destroys Gallantry Gold off Bolden. I mean, you can't combo well anymore.
The mere fact that it destroys Crown of Seeds.
Yeah, enough. That's enough.
Unreal.
Yeah.
Like you play this, you attack with it. They can't do anything about it.
Yeah.
This ability hits before they can pop it.
But was Dromai ever going to beat Oldhim anyway? So does it really matter?
Illusionist, I mean, depends on your...
How many sixes all him can, right? He could run a billion. Yeah, 1 bazillion
But
sixes.
once he's down to Crown of Seeds, what's he going to do? You know?
Still got to have him. All right, Invoke Dominion.
Oh, it also kills shields.
Yeah, like the Rams. But the problem is, like, everything it's good against is Guardian, which is flush with sixes.
Yep.
That's interesting.
I mark me.
You can hit those Gambler's Gloves off Brute.
Mark me. Yeah, that's right. Hang on. I think that in the next supplemental set...
You can kill Tunic with it, dude.
Yeah, man.
Come on. Come on, this is a 5-star
all
card.
You need to know.
This is 5 stars, man.
5 stars. He's upgrading his rating. The what was I getting ready to say?
I don't know. Kills shields, guardians, etc.
Oh, Guardian. I think we'll get in the next supplemental set. I think we will get a piece of equipment that is the phantasmal footsteps of dragons.
I hope not. I hope
not.
I hope we play it differently. Yeah,
it won't be that same style. It's just you have to have something, and maybe Ghostly Touch is that. I don't know.
Well, it's just like well, then the mechanic's just a waste of time if you're just having to correct for the fact that they can do the thing that is the weakness. Well, we got to have a strength to make the weakness not such a weakness that it's an actual weakness. And it's like, well, what's the point?
That's the whole
just make
point.
it where anytime you pop a Phantasm, I can always pay 3 to cancel it. Right?
Yeah, why not?
Like at a certain point, it's just stacks on stacks.
Well,
like just let
it.
sixes be good against Phantasms and we got to adapt to something else if they're going to keep popping them. That's the whole point of popping stuff. Can't just... Invoke Dominion. Is it up? Invoke Dominion.
My favorite one.
4 cost. So a blue and a red typically to play this, which is reasonable in a standard Dromai curve. Very reasonable. And if we look at Dominion Ultimate, don't know why Belittle came up. That is strange. Dominion Marvel Dominion. Let me see if I can get that. I would like for the nice dragon to show up. Nope, just yellow Belittle. So Dominion says, whenever Dominion attacks a hero, there it is, reveal the top card of your deck. If it's a red card, look at their hand and banish a card from it. This is absolute value.
You want me to tell you a story?
Yeah.
I had this card in my Vegas World Premiere sealed pool, and I did not play Dromai like an idiot. Oh my goodness, this card is so good.
You think it's that good?
A couple reasons why. One, 4 cost is the primo cost structure for Dromai, because you're gonna have, even in constructed, you're gonna have blues in the deck.
Yeah.
Probably 18 to 21 blues in a constructed deck.
Or as low as 12. I've seen some get by with 12.
So 1 blue and a red to play this dragon. Very doable.
Generate an Ash. Worth noting for all the rules people or non-rules people out there, because these invoke dragons say target Ash you control, you cannot choose the Ash that you are going to generate with the pitch itself. So when you announce a card, you announce it, you pitch for it, you pay all costs and any additional targets. So you have to target Ash that's on the board when you play it, and then the Ash that comes in from the red goes in afterwards. Yeah. So it is a good curve. It's on 4. It's a 4/4 easily destroyed. This doesn't stick on the board.
Yes, but
it has a one shot at hitting a red card. A lot of times it won't.
Let's say you're at 70% red. So you have a 70% shot to hit a red. And when you do, before they have a chance to block, you get to look at their hand.
Yeah.
And banish a card.
Yeah, it's awesome.
So if they have a 6
if it's their 6, they're gone.
It's gone. If they don't have a 6, let's say they had an attack that does 4. It's also gone.
It's gone.
Now they're also down a card.
Yeah.
With 4 damage coming at them.
Yeah. So this seems like your favorite dragon.
I love this dragon. I think in sealed, this is a 5-star dragon.
Limited 5 stars.
Sealed draft, because it's so playable. Like a blue and a red is actually so common. Like the problem with the other ones is that 2 blues in the same hand as Dromai. Maybe you drafted a curve that way, but even if you're at like 12 blues in sealed, there's so many hands you're going to have as 3 or 4 reds.
Yeah.
Technically, if this is an arsenal, you could even play it off 4 reds.
Yeah.
You're not going to, but you could.
Yeah.
So I think this is my, of the 3, it's the least bomb. Like the first one, if it hits the table, you just probably win the game.
Consistent value, isn't it?
This is the one you can actually play.
It's a lot of good value.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially whenever 6s are hard to come by. Especially in sealed, 6s are really hard to come by. I didn't draft. My sealed deck had 0 6s.
Yeah.
In Vegas. So that happens, and then you're just like, oh, this comes out, and you're like, whoa.
I think everyone is picking 6s because they're just raw value, right? Either against Dromai, they just block and kill something, or against everything else, they just attack for 6. So in draft, I've had several draft pools where I see none.
Yeah.
Because it's unlikely people are going to pass them to you. Unless you're sitting next to Dante Del Frisco. And for some reason, literally he passed me a pack, pick 2, I'm looking at it, and it had Thaw in it.
Wow.
Which is the Draconic 6 that also is...
Was he forcing Icelander?
He wasn't. But...
What was his first pick?
Something silly.
Yeah.
It was the 0 for 4 go again ninja card. Blaze Headlong or something.
Yeah.
And he passed. I was like, I need to know what you picked later. Because how in the world? And then we were going around. He thought Thaw only had the he didn't realize it was a 6 attack.
Oh.
He thought it was just the ability.
Yeah.
I was like, well, that's why he passed it to me. But like, I never ever thought I would get past that card.
Yeah, it's a
my whole life.
great
Anyways,
card.
Yeah.
All right, so you're hot on this. What about Constructed Dominia?
3 stars.
It's fine. 3 stars.
Yeah.
A lot of these dragons are just
playable.
they're all sideboarded, so you
Perfectly
just bring them in at
Yeah.
certain times. Invoke Asvalai. This is a lightning dragon. Asvalai Marvel Asvalai. Whenever Asvalai attacks, you may have him deal 1 arcane damage up to any 2 targets. 2 attack, 3 health, 0 cost, go again. All the 0 cost go agains are in the conversation.
So it's red, it's 0 cost, it's go again.
Yeah.
In limited, 5 stars. Not even close. People don't have arcane damage against Dromai. You can use it to pop their dragons. Arcane barrier, I mean. I think it's if I see this, if I'm even thinking about going Dromai, and even if I'm not, like first 5 cards of the pack, if I see this, I'm probably picking it.
I think this is 4 stars for me in limited. Only because Chroma is 5. So you got to have some
they can
difference.
both be 5.
You got to have some difference here. It's very good against Dromai. Obviously, that will win you the mirror probably alone.
Yeah.
Great card.
Well, especially because you can attack one of their illusion or one of their dragons, and then hit them for 1 arcane, and then hit a different illusion for 1 arcane. So like, and they can't even pop it. Like you can't block for one of your dragons. So like, it's so crazy.
Yeah, that's good. That's great in the mirror. Ooh, that's good in the mirror. That's a 5-star Dromai mirror card.
I'm telling you, it's a 5-star card.
Yeah. Okay.
Mark me.
All right.
Print it. Cut the clip.
All right, so yeah, I'm with you. What constructed sideboard? Anytime you need to do multiple instances of damage to stuff.
You know, I think there's a certain amount of the 0 cost red go again dragons that you'll just play.
Yeah, maybe all of them.
Yeah, and it might be all of them.
Because if you think about this in terms of raw value, this is a card for 2 damage plus 1 arcane, even if you don't have additional targets. It's a card for 3 damage that enables your strategy with any other dragons out. At its worst, it's 3 damage for 1 card, which is on rate.
And it's split damage. So that's above rate.
I don't know if you ever don't play this.
I told you 5 stars, man. And constructed is probably also if there was a 4.5 star, I'd pick it. But let's call it.
Let's go 5. Let's go
5
big.
stars.
5 stars.
Yeah, I think we'll see.
Cubs win.
We can only say that in context of seeing all the other dragons. So once we get through, we might adjust some ratings a little bit.
All right, so that looks good. Asvalai looking great. Let's look at Invoke Chromai.
0 cost red, go again.
5 stars.
5 stars. Does it need to do anything? No. Does it do a lot of things? Yes.
It does everything you need to do.
What's it do?
It is a 0 cost go again.
Yep, check.
Swings for 3.
How many's it block for?
Already on rate.
Just in case.
3.
Oh, come on, check.
And it gives you an action point, which gets around Phantasm popping and also allows you to do other stuff with your hand.
So this is my ideal equipment I'm talking about is not something that removes Phantasm or the downside as much as there's a cost to pay to just get action points in some manner.
See, my version of it would be whenever this is popped, you can pay 1 or something and put the Invoke back in your deck.
That's cool.
Bottom of your deck or something.
Yeah.
So you can do a long game like, you're going to run out.
Yeah, I'm going to eventually
I'm
get
going to run you out of poppers.
Yeah, but even if it was like, I thought Ghostly Touch was a cool design. So like, if every time Phantasm triggers, you put a token on an equipment, and it's kind of like Tunic. Once you get 3, you can spend it to gain an action point at instant speed. Like, yeah. So it's not quite cancel the thing.
Yeah, I like
that.
It
just adds a cost to your opponent for manipulating this major weakness that you have. Anyways.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, Chromite is this is just fantastic. This is a fantastic card.
This is S tier. So if you had tiers.
And what does S tier mean? Is this a magic term or something?
I don't know, man. Super Saiyan.
Is it super tier? When did we get too cool for just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5?
Well, what happened is there are tier 1 cards, which is a big group of the best cards. Yeah. And then people just like you were the granularity between Chromai and Asvolai.
Yeah.
It's like Asvolai is a card you pick every time, unless Chromai's in the pack.
Yeah, but that's why I gave it a 4, not a 5.
Yeah. See,
it's like the same old as the Spinal Tap problem. It's like, well, this one goes to 11 thinking. It's like, no, totally just make the whole scale work.
I think the reason that tier exists is that usually it's like a handful of cards. Or like in the hero scale, it's like there's tier 1 heroes, and then there was Starvo.
Yeah.
Because he's just in his own class. So like technically, every deck that wasn't Starvo and maybe Chain were tier 2 if you were using your scale.
Yeah, exactly.
But realistically, like really though.
But this isn't how scales work.
Anyways, dude, it's just flip it up saying 6 stars needed, obviously.
Yeah, well, where does that end, And then something's better than Chromite. Well, it needs 7 stars now. It just doesn't make any sense.
I will say, as we're approaching the 3 o'clock hour, the ambition of us reading all these cards, I think we're going to get through them.
We'll just accelerate a little bit. Because the dragons are the hardest part, I would say. The rest is easy.
Like 8% in or something.
Invoke Kyloria, 1-cost dragon. Blocks for 3 like all of them. And then if we look at Kyloria, I mean, this dragon's incredible. Can we pull up Kyloria Majestic? Also known as Majestic Kyloria. Let me see if I can get a dragon pronunciation guide. The robot needs to learn this. Some deep learning on the dragons. All right, Kyloria. So, whenever Kyloria hits a hero, gain control of an item they control. If you don't gain control of an item, draw a card.
So, tell me this. It's red. It blocks for 3. It has go again. It's a 4 damage attack.
Cost 1.
Yeah, it's a 4 damage attack, though. And it has the words draw a card on it.
Yeah.
5 stars.
It's forever snatch.
5 stars.
5 stars.
Both formats.
5 stars.
5 stars. Yeah.
And if that Alchemist ever comes out, it'll be really good against that.
Well, I sure hope it does. What else am I doing with my potions? Got a whole 2 binder pages full of potions that look beautiful. Need something to do with them.
That's 5 stars. Kyloria. All right, let's look at Invoke Miragai. Or Miragi. I think it's Miragai. They like the AI being the up accent.
So in my mind, it almost reads like Mirage.
But Phi is FAI.
Yeah, it's Miragi. I get it.
Miragai.
It's like the wax on, wax off guy.
You think it's Miraji? Miraji? Really?
I don't know. It kind of flows, doesn't it?
It isn't wrong strictly. There's got to be a pronunciation guide.
There is. They had a pronunciation guide, but I can't read very well. So
it can't be Miraji. That sounds like a stuffed animal.
It's Miragai.
Miragai. Miragai.
I don't know, man.
Anyway, 1 cost, red go again. First dragon attack each turn loses and cannot gain Phantasm.
Wade's saying it's Miragai. And Zab says Mr. Miyagi.
Mr. Miyagi. Okay, so this
4 stars.
Attacks for 2, gives dragon each turn, loses and can't gain Phantasm. That's playing into your strategy.
It's a
solid sideboarder. Is it always in? It's always in, isn't it?
No, the thing is, you say it's always in until you realize how many cards are always in, and then
you have no.
Yeah, card. I literally was just doing my FabDB deck, add a card, and it's like, oh, it's 100 cards.
Yeah,
it's like I guess I got to cut something. So it's just a utility card, right? It only matters if they have a 6 in hand.
Yeah.
So it's not directly doing the thing, but it's making all the things you're doing better. So it's high utility. It's doing exactly what you want. But as an example, any card that gains you an action point is similar reality.
Yeah.
Now, losing Phantasm also means it doesn't go away.
Yeah.
The thing that got popped, and this is a thing on the table that's also a threat.
Yeah, and it means that the first, if you have like a Kyloria out, and you drop. In fact, more notably is probably playing Chromai, getting that action point to invoke Miragai as well, or Miragai or Miraji.
Then you're just cruising, man.
And then you can swing with Chromai. Like these kinds of things.
Just picture this. You have 3 Ash. You have a blue in hand.
Does Chromai come in?
You invoke Chromai.
Oh, it's only when he leaves the arena. Okay, so he's got to attack to get an action point, and then you could pop it before Miragai comes in.
Yeah, but you could, in the same turn, you could invoke Chromai, invoke Miragai,
Yeah, 100%.
Invoke Kyloria. Then you could go with the thing, get you an action point that doesn't have Phantasm anymore.
Yeah.
Then you could go with the thing that gave you the lack of Phantasm. They're not going to pop that.
This is how we're supposed to play Dromai.
Then you attack with Kyloria, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh man, that was a lot of stuff you just did there.
Why didn't we think to just play them all in the same turn?
It's easy. These low-cost dragons are valuable for that very reason.
All right, all low-cost values are 4 stars minimum.
Yeah, this is a 4-star.
And then
it looks great.
We've got Necria, Invoke Necria. This is a 3-cost dragon.
Reasonable.
You can see the scale, right? The scale, as the cost goes up, attack and health values go appropriately, etc. So Necria, whenever Necria deals or is dealt damage, put a -1 counter on her and create an Ash token. I'm a huge fan of this dragon. I don't know where you sit on this dragon.
I'm 4 stars.
Okay.
In limited. Construct is probably 3 stars.
Man, in limited, I would almost go, this is bigger than that.
So,
but in limited, you don't have as much tools to make use of the Ash like you would in constructed, I guess.
Yeah. I think the...
Kind of self-limited.
It is great. It's 7 health. If they don't have a popper, it's coming in for 4. Even if they... And when they attack it, a lot of times they have to attack it multiple times to clear this thing. So, in an ideal scenario, you attack it and it goes down to 6 health. You get your Ash token, you attack for 4. Then they have to do a bunch of at least 2 attacks into it. Mm-hmm. But they attack at that point for 2. It gets a token. 2. It gets a token.
Yeah, you can't do it that way. That's too much.
Yeah,
you can't do it that way.
So, anyways, I think it's good, but it being 3 cost also means that it's just harder to play.
That's true, and it doesn't do anything if it's popped, right? So it's not when it attacks; it's when it deals damage.
Yeah,
that would have given it a lot more value. But it's hard to get off the table. If there was a consistent source of Phantasm doesn't apply to the first attack that you couldn't then attack off the board, that would be sick. If you could set that up and this thing is just sitting there and then it doesn't have Phantasm and it attacks every turn.
Yeah.
But that'd be very nice.
As it says now, is if they do pop it, you get no value out of it.
Yeah.
And then...
That's so true. This is not something you're supposed to put this on the board and leave it there. Wait for the right moment.
Yeah.
Which is hard to do with 2 cards that are effectively doing nothing on a turn cycle.
Yeah. Now, you could also do fun stuff, if you had that Asvolai out. It's you play this thing, you Asvolai, you do one of the arcane damage to yourself, create an Ash token, then you attack with this thing, and as long as they don't pop it, you're starting to get lots of value.
Okay, I could see that. That's kind of an interesting use of that to constantly just generate Ash.
I think the biggest thing is it costs 3.
Yeah.
So, the example I was talking about earlier, if you're paying 3, you're 1 card off of getting big stuff. But when you're playing the 0 and 1 cost dragons, you can do it off of single blue. And that feels really good.
Yeah, still do other stuff.
That's a ton of value.
Yeah, because your turn being Necria, if you attack and they pop it, that's bad. So you can't do that. You can't do that.
Yeah.
Huh. So what do you do with this?
I mean, you still play it. If you get it in Seal the Draft, it's perfectly playable. Because there's not a lot of 6s.
Yeah.
They're probably not going to... And you play it, and if you draw the 6 out with this, fine, right? So I think it's a 3. And then constructed, it's 3 borderline 2 for me. It's just not... It's not the bomb, and it's also not a super efficient card.
Gosh, it really does feel like it's an engine builder, though. It feels like it's something that you can set up, and maybe we'll see it in the expansion set.
I mean, hypothetically, you have 4 or 5 baby dragons out. They can all attack this thing, right? It takes 2
Can they attack anything they want?
I think so, yeah.
I didn't think that was in the rules. You can never attack...
I've never read that thing.
You can't attack yourself, but can you attack your own allies?
Depends. I have no idea.
That's why people need to be thinking.
Yeah. Not me.
So I don't have to.
That's a go to the Discord and ask the question.
Let's talk about Invoke Uvia. 2 cost. And then if we look at Uvia here, at the start of your turn, or when Uvia enters the arena, I like that value, transform an Ash into an Aether Ashwing. This is fantastic,
it's
right?
5 stars. Yeah.
Are you on 5-star Uvia?
I'm on 5 stars for two really important reasons.
On both formats?
Yeah. Two important reasons. One is you play this card off of blue pitch. You pay 2. You still have 1 floating, so you can still play a 1-cost dragon on the same turn.
Yeah.
The other thing is you get a baby dragon immediately.
Yeah.
And also this ability, you never even attack with this thing.
Yeah, it's just on. It's just sitting there.
Yeah. So your opponent is literally going to have to waste 6 damage, right? So I have paid 2 before for enchanting melody.
Yeah.
To prevent 4 that I don't have, like, it's like...
You're doing that Ruin Blade math.
I'm just...
That non-attack also happens to open up 17 damage.
Sure. But in this case, like, you're paying 2. It's a red card. It has go again. You're already going to have a blue curve. You have 1 left over to either play a 1-cost attack or a 1-cost dragon. And you immediately get the baby dragon out of it. Yeah. And your opponent just either has to let it sit there and keep making dragons.
Yeah.
Or deal with it.
That's so good in limited.
I'm telling you 5 times.
Yeah, because like, what are they going to do? Waste a 6 attacking this? Now they have 1 less 6 of their 2 maybe in the deck.
They 2 cards.
Yeah, 2 cards to get rid of this.
Be my guest.
That is bomb town.
Be my guest.
Okay, I like Uvia. Big Uvia fan. I'm a 5-star Uvia fan myself.
Yeah, dude, see, like, we came around on
Constructed, I don't know. It's also variable, meta dependent. It's a good card though.
I think in the constructed deck that wants the game to go long, this is another perfect card. Like, it's not something you really want to spend 6 damage on. But if you don't, I'm just going to keep churning through these baby dragons.
Yeah. You got to have enough ash, too.
That's eventually going to be a problem. Yeah, in Constructed, it's even more crazy, though. Because, like, you should be on lots of ash in Constructed. In the games I've played with Constructed so far, I get to 5 to 8 ash pretty quickly.
Okay.
And I've always got ash.
You just have it forever.
Yeah, you just have to have it.
Yeah.
Like, there's just no...
It's like the soul tax for Bolton. Yeah, that would be difficult in limited because sometimes you're a little ash starved and it's like you can't play any of your other big dragons because it keeps using your ash, like Wade's saying in the chat. So that's, I don't know, that might be a 4-star consideration for me, but I'll leave you at 5. Invoke Themai, 2 cost, red, go again. Themai says the following: 3 attack, 4 health. Opponents cannot play cards or activate abilities during your turn. I love cards like this. Just kidding. But
it has the word can't on it.
It's a fine counter to people that want to do this.
Side note on Uvia, it says up to 1 ash.
So you can choose 0.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, well, that's easy then.
It doesn't need
That's 5-star material.
We're back.
For sure. Themai in limited, really annoying against Icelander. Yeah. Strictly.
Yeah. It's perfectly playable in any match, but because of how good it is into Icelander, probably a 4-star for me. It's not like just fantastic. It's fine all the time.
It's a 3, 4, yeah.
It would be a 3-star if it didn't just totally ruin Icelander's day. Like, they better have a 4 damage arcane damage or a 4 damage attack.
Yeah.
Or it's probably just game over.
It's game over, man. And it's like, in Constructed, you play this, forces Kano to go now or not. It's one of those, kind of like Heart of Ice in that way. But yeah, it's a good classic sideboard card, right? So, it literally just answers directly a problem.
Yeah. Limited 4 stars. Constructed 3 stars. It's a sideboard card. Like if Wizard is popular, you'll play it.
And then also, as Pognak was saying, anyone with D reacts as well.
Yeah.
But it's weird because I don't think anybody sides in D reacts for Dromai. Maybe they do. I don't know. I haven't played enough. But she's got so many 3 damage attacks. It's not like her 4 breakpoints are like breaking the bank. And you really don't want to defend against a dragon. You want all your poppers in those slots, not your D-reacts. So, Invoke Vinserakai.
You know what? You said that very well.
Thanks.
Until you said it, I didn't know how to say it.
8th grade spelling bee champion, Chelsea, Oklahoma.
I have no such title to share.
Target dash, 3 cost, red, go again. And Vinserakai says, whenever Vinserakai hits a hero, he deals 3 arcane damage to them, 1 health. This is a flashy dragon that isn't as good as you want it to be.
Yeah, but it's perfectly playable in sealed.
Yeah.
3 stars in sealed. 1 star in constructed.
Ooh.
Yeah, you can't pay 3 for this thing. It's too easy.
Just too easy to get rid of.
Yeah, I mean, against Ninja, it's either Kodachis or Phoenix Flames. Against, it's just crazy. Against Wizard, they just do 1 arcane to it, dead.
Dead.
If they have poppers, they obviously blow it up.
Yeah.
If they want, I mean, maybe
If it was when it attacks, it deals 3. It'd be higher.
that's the problem.
Yeah.
So like pitching 3 and playing this card for potentially 0 value. In limited,
You get a card out of their hand. You get a pop.
Yeah, and limited is totally fine. Like coming swinging for 6, if they probably don't have a popper, so now they got to block with 2 cards and they've got to attack it. Like it kind of shuts off the whole turn.
Yeah.
But you still have to have a blue, which you have hands that aren't going to have that.
Do you think if you're Dromai, like if you see a really good dragon up front, do you start grabbing? Well, you probably grab any 6 anyway. So I guess there's not a strat. I was thinking like hate drafting the 6s is notable, but
No,
everybody's grabbing
you
the
just grab a
6.
6. Yeah.
Grab 'em.
If you get past a 6, it's because there were multiple 6s in the pack.
I'm a big fan of this dragon, but I know it's not that great.
Yeah, it looks cool.
Moving on to Invoke Yindarai. 1 cost, go again. I like this one a lot. Yeah. I'm a big fan of this. Yindarai says, Yindarai enters the arena with an endurance counter. If Yindarai would be dealt damage, remove an endurance counter from him to prevent 3 of that damage. So you can swing a 6 at it to kill it, or you can hit it twice, once for any amount and then once for 3.
Or you can pop it.
Or you can pop it.
The token does not prevent the popping.
You can always pop it.
Yeah.
Boy, if that token prevented the popping, now we're getting somewhere.
Yeah, but it doesn't.
This is on-rate dragon, 3/3. A little bit harder to get rid of. Still problematic to pop. Good value, though, ultimately. It's just right down the line. It's a 3-star dragon.
It's a 3-star dragon. And limited.
This is 3 stars.
And I think it's a 2-star constructed.
3 stars in limited.
One of the reasons I think it's 2-star in constructed is it doesn't have long-term value. So in constructed, the ones that I put a lot of value on are the ones that, in a longer form game, can continue to deliver for me.
Yeah.
This is literally just a 3 damage attack that is a little harder to kill. Versus, like Kyloria, like a draw card threat every time is the real deal.
Yeah, it's pretty notable. Yeah, this is just like perfectly fine, isn't it? Looks beautiful, too.
I love the way this dragon looks.
Ooh, looks good. Where is that? What region is that? Savage Lands? It's got to be Savage, right?
I mean...
Because Vincerikai is the Draconic stuff. Themai is that Solana?
Are there different borders?
Oh, no, I don't know. I think it's just speculation. Necria is probably like Demonastery.
There's flavor text somewhere.
Miragai is clearly the Ninja Place. Mysteria.
It looks like on the standard thing. No. Yeah, it tells you where they're from on like the standard invoke card. Like
does it?
Is the dragon of fertility said to roost within the lush caverns of Arya.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, and then Necria says the dragon of decay said to run the crypts of the Demonastery.
There it is. So they're all here. Right. Themai is Solana. Vincerikai is the Red Desert, so that's the dragon stuff. And then Savage Lands. Boom. The Dragon of Endurance said to be rooted deep within the Savage Lands. I can't wait for that set. There's going to be endurance counters.
It's going to be good. Also, apparently, lore-wise, Dromai is like summoning illusions of legendary dragons.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's like she heard the tales, and then she made them.
Yeah. Now, it would be a shame if some Draconic hero came along and actually brought the dragons back. Who had the blood of the Draconic, you know what I mean?
It's a familiar tale, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't know.
The blood of the dragon.
Hey, all tales are the same.
Yeah, that's right.
All
Beginning, middle, and end. Hero goes, hero journey, etc.
Hero becomes a tyrant.
Billowing Mirage. Next up, these cards are really interesting. 1 cost. We'll look at the red version here. Red Billowing Mirage. When you attack with Billowing Mirage, transform an Ash into an Aether Ashwing. Go again. 1/3/3.
So it's red, and it has go again.
Yeah.
So the red version of this card is beyond its effectiveness. I think all red go again cards, and limited particularly, get like an extra point of star.
Sure.
Like this, you start out at 2 stars just if you're red and you have go again.
Let's look at it in a vacuum, though.
All right.
This is 2 cards out of your hand for 4 damage.
4 damage, one of which can stick around if they don't pop it.
So, like, how do we rate that? This is why computers can't exactly figure this out.
Right.
Just like.
Yeah, and it's also an arcane barrier on the table.
Yeah.
Which could be worth a whole lot. Mm-hmm. Who knows?
So it really just you just play it.
It also, like a red go again, part of why they're so valuable is if you have 4 baby dragons on the table already, Aether Ashwings.
Absolutely.
This is actually 3 plus create an Ashwing plus swing for 5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's 2 for 8.
Yeah, so
now
fair,
we're getting
fair,
good.
yeah, fair.
But it gets better, as the board builds, but it also is your board builder. So this is seems like just a staple Dromai card.
Yeah.
But it's not. I don't know. If they keep your board under control, you're under curve on this kind of stuff.
Yep. This is the illusionist reality, right?
Yeah, it kind of always has been, hasn't it?
You ever play as Prism and you're sitting there and you need to block. It's like, these cards are pretty bad.
Because this is the thing. It's easy to get stuck in thinking that the cool things you're doing on the table are actually good things.
Not always the same.
Not always the same, but it feels
Bravo.
good when you play it.
Yeah.
But it doesn't necessarily give you the numbers that you need to beat 5, for instance.
Now, I will say, this whole Ash reality is, you don't really want to be pitching to create Ash.
No.
So the cards that we're about to see that create Ash, to me, are very valuable because that means I didn't have to pitch to do that.
Yeah.
And the best things in this class, in this set, are the things that require you to have Ash.
Yeah.
All the way from, sand cover to the big dragons we just talked about. So that said, there's only so many ways to create the Ash Wings.
Yeah.
So I think you have to have a certain amount of both, or your deck's not really gonna function.
So this is effectively 2 cards for an Ash, a Ash Wing, and 3 damage. That's not terrible. I think you have to evaluate Ash at about 1 point. It's 1 point of value. That's how they're doing it in their math. If you look at Sweeping Blow, you know what I mean?
Eric has been really trying to keep track of the value per turn per hero when he's playing Sealed and Draft.
Yeah, because he's a giant machine.
Yeah, and then literally the first time I played Dromai against him, he was just like,
what's an Ash worth?
How do I value that? And we were talking through this exact conversation. It was just like, well, it could be worth nothing. If you're in the game with 5 Ash, 5 of those Ash were 0.
0. Yeah.
But also, if the Ash becomes the 6-cost dragon, and your opponent doesn't have a popper, it's like, well, that Ash was worth 12.
Yeah,
or whatever.
That's a good way to make sure that we can't just be computers about it. I like
math.
So to me, man, this is a solid. This would be a 3.5 probably. I would rate this as just across the board a 3-star card. I think it's 3 stars.
I think it's a 3-star card. I think the red one is a 4-star card, just because of how important in limited red Go Again is in this format. Now that said, you can trick yourself into playing bad cards, which is what you were just saying. So I think in Constructed, you have to ask yourself, as an example, if you're on a heavy red deck, would you rather play Ravenous Rabble or this? Mm-hmm. It's for 0 cards out of my hand, I can threaten 4 immediately.
Man, if this was 0,
and
sign me up.
Now all my dragons get Go Again, right? So I think it depends on your strategy, but the value in Constructed, it's a 3-star card. Again, the red might be a 4 just because it's necessary, but if you're not going the strategy of the baby Ash Wings, it's not a great card.
Yeah, Billowing is definitely 4 stars in limited for me. Just the red Billowing. Yeah. Also the blues. It's a fine blue, get a red pitch, 3 block card.
Yeah, I mean, I honestly, any card that is blue that blocks for 3 probably starts out at 3 stars.
Nothing changes, man.
At 3,
nothing changes in this game.
The floor is 3 stars.
Yeah. Let's look at next step. So Dunebreaker Sinapai. This is a 1 for 5 Phantasm, and when it's destroyed, create an Ash token.
Yeah.
Go again.
5 stars.
This is an incredible card.
5 stars.
Yeah, this is 5 stars.
Yeah.
5 stars.
I honestly even like the yellow one. It's coming in 1 for 4 with Go Again with an upside if they blow it up, right?
Yeah.
But the red one, of course, is the best because it's a red with Go Again. So 5 stars. The yellow one's probably a 4-star. And again, the blue one is block for 3 and it's blue. So it's at least 3 stars. It is a Go Again attack, but you really don't ever want to be playing this thing.
Yeah. That's fantastic. This card is great.
Yeah.
Card is super good. I'm a big fan of that one. Let's look at Dust Up. Ooh, Dust Up's a weird one.
I've had a roller coaster ride with this card.
I have a lot to say about Dust Up.
Oh, let's go. 0 for 4.
So 0 for 4. Create an Ash token. Transform Ash into an Aether Ashwing. Really a 0 for 5 value technically, although you're not going to be able to swing with that Ashwing up top on that turn. Blocks for 3. Some people didn't like this card, man. I think this is a 0 for 4. It's phenomenal. You block with 3 cards. You throw back a 0 for 4 with a fantastic hit effect for Dromai. Mm-hmm. Why would you not run this?
I really like this card.
This is big on. I'm into this.
Then I didn't like it. Now it's a 5-star card. The red one, 5 stars.
Red 1 5 stars, limited or constructed?
Limited.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Constructed.
The other thing you quickly find out about illusionists is if they don't have in limited, when they don't have a popper, you get to the end of the chain a lot.
Yeah.
This is a perfect in the chain card.
Oh gosh, come on.
Like it's just attack with a couple of baby dragons coming for 4 at the end.
Yeah.
They don't want to block.
Yeah.
Really, they don't want to block this card. So the red one's really good, and then the blue one, of course, is probably a 4-star, and the yellow is probably a 3-star.
Yeah.
And then in constructed, I don't even know.
Yeah, it's hard to say though. But it's a 0 for 4. And 0 for 4s in constructed are good, although it doesn't have go again. The 0 for go again is really the card you're looking for. Yeah. But it's like the illusionist version of Snatch, right? Rather than drawing a card, you get an Ashwing.
Yeah.
That's basically what you're looking at. Yeah. I think we'll see play in constructed.
Yeah, some amount of play.
Yeah. And also worth noting, like you were saying, it's a really good scalable card. So as you block down, it can be the second card in your hand, and you can invoke a 0-cost dragon and then finish with Dust Up. Or you can block with 3 cards in your hand, have only Dust Up.
Yeah. Or in a full flush hand,
block it all and swing with a dragon.
You could literally play all your cards and then finish with this guy.
Finish with Dust Up. Yeah, I think Dust Up is really notably good. Embermoss Centipie. 2 for 8. Phantasm. When it is destroyed, create an Ash token in limited. This has got to be a 5 stars, right?
5 stars. I mean, it's just
5 stars. Just throwing it out, dude.
Yeah, 2 for 8 is just like a bomb.
2 for 8. You can play it off the back of a 1-cost go again off of a blue. That's a 3-card hand
and
from.
It does something when it gets blown up.
Oh, it's incredible.
And if they're gonna in limited, if you're blowing this card up, I get why you would do it, but like you only have so many of those, and the dragons are coming.
Yeah.
And like
you can't waste it on this.
Blowing up a dragon is like ends a turn kind of moment because they can't get go again. You know, that's why this card's a bomb. Yellow version 5 stars. 2 for 7. Blue version 5 stars. 2 for 6 at a block 3. Are you kidding me?
You draft all of these,
right?
Take
this card to the moon.
Yeah. This thing's going right to the moon. Worth noting.
Ember Moon Centipede, you know what I mean?
Dromai can play 2 styles here. We got the big Phantasm attacks in limited. We got the big Phantasm attacks, and then we got the dragons, of course, the tiny ones in. Of course, you get a few big ones. But it seems like against certain heroes, like against fire or something, that can really just like take care of your dragons and keep going. This is a better strategy into fire, probably. Playing big attacks.
I think the big attacks are better.
Just strictly.
If you if you can get the red Centipede go again one, and you get a couple of the red and yellows of these, you get a couple 6 blocks as well. Like just being able to threaten that value, especially at the end of a chain.
Yeah.
Is sick.
All right.
It's disgusting.
We agree on that.
Yeah, I mean the really good dragons that provide a lot of value, of course, are great. There's different archetypes too. There are some decks that can create a ton of the baby dragons.
Yeah.
Which can be their own
flood.
problem.
Yeah.
But that relies strictly on you have to have red go again. Mm-hmm. Like I've had so many turns where I will get like 6 of the baby dragons out.
Oof.
You draw 4, it's no red go again.
Oof.
And then it's like, well, what am I doing with this hand?
That's actually devastating.
Yeah, but if you have a 2 for 8 in your hand, it's fine.
Yeah.
Like, oh, they're out. I'll go 2 for 8. If you want to block, then you're not going to do my baby dragons, and we'll keep going.
Okay.
Anyways.
Yeah, I like that.
I digress.
Sweeping Blow. This is a weird one. 1 for 3. 3 block. When you attack with it, create an Ash token. 1/3 go again.
Whatever I said for the billowing, this one is a little bit higher.
You think it's higher?
Just because Ash is so fundamental. The other one, you have to have Ash for it to do anything, to create the baby dragon. This one, you get the Ash no matter what. Yeah,
so it's always worth something.
Yep.
And 2 cards for 3 and 2 Ash tokens.
And it's a red with go again. And it's not
Math,
2 cards
though.
fully. You have 2 resources floating.
Well, you pitch a red to it, because you're Dromai and you're playing fun Ash games.
You definitely have, on average, you're hoping for 1.
Well, how many cards are you going to have in your hand against Fi? I mean, you're going to come in with 2 cards at best.
That's the biggest problem.
Yeah. And then what do? You swing back for 3. They don't care. You make a couple Ash, and they swing 12 more at you.
You block if that's what you're doing with this card.
Yeah.
But that's why those big attacks are so critical in this format. It's like, if you're going to block down to 1 or 2 cards, you have the 2 for 8 in the arsenal, or the 2 for 7, or the 2 for 6.
See, then where does this fit?
Well, to me,
it's not Dust Up. It's not that.
It's the turns that are decent here. You pitch a blue, play this. Pitch a blue, play Billowing. Pitch a blue, play Centipede for 5 with go again. Like you're still on the 1 pitch. So like you have a 1-cost curve. You have a 1-cost dragon somewhere in there.
You got to be able to take the hit and then, do something.
Yeah.
It's just I was finding it very difficult in the limited games I was playing to ever have a moment where I felt good about playing this card that didn't just get me farther behind.
Yep. I think that's the same way with Billowing.
Yeah.
They're like slightly under the curve in the hopes that the ash is worth more to you down the road.
Yeah.
And it depends on in limited, particularly on the dragons you have in your deck too. But if you have 2 and 1 cost dragons, just the ability to pitch a blue to play this and then a dragon, and then you finish with whatever that generic is, 1 for 5 red.
A critical hit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
it's good.
It's notably not as important as I thought it was. That and Billowing. Actually.
Yeah, and then how are we making ash?
Yeah.
Because then it's just back to pitching reds. It's tough. It's a tough puzzle to put together in limited, but it's there. Rake the Embers. Mm-hmm. Here's an interesting card.
5 stars.
Rake the Embers. Create an Ash token, transform to 3 Ash you control into Aether Ash Wings. Go again. This card can be absolutely dead early in the game, which I have had that happen before.
You can always pitch it.
But you can always pitch it. It's a great late game card. It's a good stack. If you're in a world where second cycles are happening, Rake the Embers is a good end game, finish the game kind of card.
Yeah.
Technically, you could pay probably 2 cards.
I
Pitch, Rake the Embers.
I think the red one
3 Ash Wings, swing for 3.
is so good because it's red and has go again.
Yeah.
So that by default, especially in limited, we're already at a certain tier. The fact that it creates an ash and then transforms means you're at least getting 1 ash wing out of it as well if you want that.
And if you pitch a red for it, it's 2.
Yeah. So there's those layers here. And then if you do have 3 or 4 ash going into this turn, that's really good value.
Yeah.
A turn where you have 3 already, you create 1, you use 3 of them to get the baby dragons, you attack with all those. If they don't pop any of that, then maybe use that last ash to play a bigger dragon. And then,
man, you're getting some big hands in Dromai deck.
Yeah. Well, magic.
Not been my experience.
Like Kyloria, 5 will respect it.
Did you say this is 5 stars?
The red one, I think, is 5. And then I think I'm going to go, the yellow is 3, and the blue is 4.
Blue only blocks for 2.
I know. Creates an ash wing, and it's blue.
But I go 3 on that.
I'm also on I want 10 to 12 blue cards in my deck, at least.
I want them all to block 3.
Yeah.
Every one of them.
Agreed.
Let's look at Red Skittering Sands. People don't like this card, do they?
I like it.
I like it a lot. That's Red Skittering Sands, man. Transform target ash into an Aether Ashwing. It gains +3. It's a card for effectively 5 value. Ashwing stays, assuming they don't pop it.
And it's red go again.
So it's red go again,
the red one is where it's at. The other ones are fine. It blocks for 2, so I'm less prone on this one.
The other ones I don't like as much. Yeah, I'd go 4 stars on Red Skittering.
I'm with you.
You with me on that?
I'd go 3 on the others. They're playable.
I think it's 2, maybe.
They're not bad, but they're not great. There's only so many ways to create ash wings.
That's true. That's true. I like that skin. It reminds me of Diablo 2, which is that desert level was the most annoying level in that entire game. Everything's poisoning you. There's slows everywhere. It's just a grind.
Was it quicksand?
No, I don't think so. There's big worms and stuff, and stuff just exploded. It was horrible.
Combusted.
It was horrible. Sand cover red. Target ash you control gains ward 4 until end of turn. 0 for 4. Burns an ash. Not as good in limited. Because the ash is valuable. And that's how you win the game. But also, great against Icelander.
Clutch against Icelander.
Just incredible, right? There's a world where Icelander can never beat Dromai, right? In limited.
I mean, if you get to the point where they can't do anything.
Well, just between Sand Cover, Oasis Respite, even Sigils, if you want to go that direction. And then the fact that you have AB a million, potentially.
If you can create enough baby dragons, yes. There's a moment where if she doesn't have any Singes left or something, then she does not have the cards to get it done.
Yeah. So what do you think about Red Sand Cover? Also our promo.
Constructed, 4.5 stars, 4 stars. Probably
4 stars and constructed. It seems like the best drone decks are going to be defensive.
If you're on the defensive strategy, this is just a better version of a sink below, kind of. One of the upsides of it is you can play it on your turn. So obviously you can stop. The sink below doesn't help into wizard. Yeah. So from a sideboard positioning slot, but you can also activate your go against stuff by just playing this.
True.
And choosing a source. And then you're off to the races. So it's just a lot more flexible.
Yeah, it is an instant, so it satisfies the play a red card, even though you don't do anything with it. It just turns on,
So I think in the constructed it's probably a 4-star card. And then in limited, I'm probably on a 4.
You still think it's a 4? I would only put it in against Icelander, I think.
There's not very much that blocks 4 for one card in this set. In fact, this might be the only one. And Fi has breakpoints at 4 that are relevant.
Yeah.
So being able to just stop that, especially out of Arsenal, because they don't think you can block anymore. So they do some weird stuff once they think you're out.
Yeah. I guess it really depends on the Ash generation in your deck. Mm-hmm. Like if you're flush with a bunch of Ash generation, this gets obviously way higher value.
Yeah.
But if you're on like Ash is really hard to make, then it's hard to spend an Ash on this.
Ash is it's a conditional, right? It's just an extra resource you have to have. So if your deck can pump out the Ash, this thing is great.
Yeah. Yellow and blue, why?
If you have to.
Yeah, never. All right, there we go. There's the Illusionist cards. Easy mode. We can blow through 5 because you know what? They're all basically the same card.
They're literally the same card. Tell me about 5.
Let's look at 5. 5 Rising Rebellion. You may start the game with a Phoenix Flame in your graveyard. Very cool ability. Once per turn, pay 3, -1/-1/-1 for each chain link that you control that's Draconic. So generally you're going to be getting this back for 1 or 0. Yeah. Most of the time. That's the play pattern I've seen.
It's like a 0/1 cost, go again, swing the sword. Now you pay 1 to get it back. You already had to pay 2 to swing the sword. So you pitch a blue, you can get that 1 back for free. If you have a 3rd chain link, then you just get that's 1 damage for free. Okay. So in limited, obviously really good. 1 damage with the Phoenix Flame on the baby dragons. Mm-hmm. And also you get in that grindy state where you're down to 1 health each, and it's really annoying.
Yeah, I like that design. I like the design of Fi quite a bit as far as a go-wide hero, where you're able to start the game. You're actually playing cards to do it. It's not kind of built in. So it's the ninja big chain link thing. It adds 1 damage to your lines. It adds a chain link to your line. It's basically free. So it works really well with things like Mask of Momentum and Salt the Wound and all these weird ninja cards that are supposedly obsessed with chain links. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of doing all the things Ninja wants to do in a really still playing the game clean kind of way. Really dig it. So Fi is great. And obviously I think in Limited the go-to always going to be OK hero.
Yeah. If you don't have any other options, this is it.
It's doing damage.
One thing about Sand Cover that's worth mentioning is that it only eats the Ash if a ward is used.
Yeah. So you can always just turn the go again on and then not use the Ash.
Yeah.
All right, let's look at Searing Emberblade. I think this was a surprise hit for a lot of people. Once per turn, 2 for 3, and if it's the second chain link or higher, it has go again. So if it's the second thing you do, it has go again. It counts for itself basically. 2 for 3, technically lower than Guardian's 2 for 4. Yeah. But it does have go again. Yeah. So it's perfectly on curve and incredibly good.
In limited,
5 stars.
It's the only weapon that stays on the board and can keep attacking. Period. Yeah. 5 stars.
5 stars.
In constructed, the comparison is the Kodachis, right?
Yeah.
Which is the question mark. So much of Fi's cards, though, want you to have Draconic chain links, and this counts as a Draconic chain link. So I've seen arguments for both. I think the more red heavy, more Draconic heavy will play this. Mm-hmm. And then there's room for the Kodachi conversation, but I don't think with the free Phoenix Flames, Kodachis are less relevant to them.
There's absolutely a control Fi deck in the works somewhere. Mm-hmm. I mean, Ninja Turtle did not go away, and it just got better with Fi, I think. Moving on to Heat Wave. This is another Quell equipment, Draconic Ninja arms. Destroy it. Phoenix Flames gain +1 until end of turn, also has Quell. So this is an example of a card, unlike the arms for Illusionist, that you have to do one or the other. You generally cannot use both.
Yeah. Now, you could against Icelander.
Yep.
If they try to instant early out of Arsenal to give you a Frostbite and do some damage, you could quell some of that damage knowing you're going to pop this to make your Phoenix Flames.
Yep. And then hopefully you get at least maybe 2 damage out of it. One's still okay. For equipment, I mean, it's still pretty good. Runaways was prevent 1, right? So I think it's a fine piece of equipment and limited. It's not like a oh my gosh, I've got to play it. It's not like getting the Ice Hammer in Tails or something. But it's a solid 3-star piece of equipment for me. I think it's quite good. You can usually get 2 out of it if you're playing smart.
Yeah.
You hit that second Phoenix Flame.
Yeah, in limited, I would even go to 4-star.
Did you go 4 stars?
Yeah, I've had so many turns where they play 2 Phoenix Flames on me for +1 each.
Yeah, 2 and 2 is good.
Yeah,
It's real good.
It's really annoying.
Phoenix Form. It's a good extended art theory version as well.
Also on those arms, it's worth noting they're an instant.
Yeah.
So you can attack and wait to use it until they decide to block or not with it.
Sure.
So then they don't block, and now it's 2 damage.
Kind of like breaking scales in that way.
Yeah.
Phoenix Form, 0 for 3 with 3 block. It's a majestic. If you control 1 or more Phoenix Flames, Phoenix Form has go again. And if you control 2 or more, it has +2. So it's a 0 for 5 if you have 2. If you control 3 or more, it has when it hits a hero, draw 3 cards. This is bomb.com, as the kids say. Still, I'm sure. In that it
clearly.
is, if this hits in limited, you have lost the game for 3. Like 3 cards.
It's a miracle this is limited.
Yeah. But it's possible. It's absolutely possible.
Uh-huh.
What do you got to do? Just play 3 Phoenix Flames? What does
so
that turn
hard.
look like?
So
1 in hand.
you have 1 hand, you play it, you swing a sword, say you pitch a blue. Then you pay 1 to get the second one back, play it. So then you have to have 2 in hand. Or you have to have the cards that go search them out of your deck.
Which is
to
what
get
you
them.
got to do.
Or search them out of your discard pile.
Yeah, that's what you got to do.
Yeah, but it's tough. I think this could be a constructed card. I'm on like a 2-star for limited and a 3-star for constructed. And maybe a 4-star if someone builds the deck and actually proves to me it works.
It's one of the most threatening things in the entire card pool. You got to honor that, right? 0 for 5, draw 3 cards. If everybody had access to a card that said that, we'd all be playing it as max copies.
Yeah.
So there are some conditions, but you have to honor what this is capable of doing.
Yeah, man. Even 0 for 5 with Go Again is pretty good. But I think there is probably a constructed deck that can figure it out and really make it sing. And I hope so, because that would be so cool.
Yeah, and you don't even have to hit. You just have to control them. So you have to have played 3 Phoenix Flames.
The reason I say constructed, too, is having the ninja pumps makes this very hard to block, actually.
Yeah.
So, watch out.
And it's not terribly hard to get 3 Phoenix Flames.
You need to get 2, really.
1 in hand, an attack that searches your discard or deck for it, and then 1 in the discard pile.
Yeah. Even as 1 in hand, 1 that searches discard pile, and then the other one in the discard pile gets there. Deck or discard, it's fine.
Yeah. You got to search 1, you got to do the ability.
But like in limited, right, it's like, it's probably mostly going to be 0 for 3 with Go Again. Most of the time. In constructed, I think a lot of the times it's 0 for 5 with Go Again.
Yeah.
Perfectly fine.
Which is incredible. And it blocks 3.
Yeah.
And it blocks 3. This is great.
So that's where I'm on the 2-4 scale.
All right, Spreading Flames, 3 blocks for 2, 1 cost, and Draconic attacks you control have +1, while their base attack is less than the number of Draconic chain links you control. So if your first attack is a 0, you're a Phoenix Flame or whatever, it would be a 1.
But this would have to have gone first.
So this would have to have gone first. If your second attack is a 1, it becomes a 2.
Yep.
If your third attack is a 1 or a 2, they become a 2 or 3 respectively.
And the third attack a lot of times at Phoenix Flame.
But hey, 1 for 3 Go Again.
Yep.
Red Go Again card.
I actually think this is pretty good.
Yeah.
It's probably a 4-star limited card for me. And like
Oof, that's high.
I mean, it can... Fi is not blocking, and you have to block her out, or him out. So it's literally... This creates opportunities that are pretty crazy.
If nothing else, it's really a 1 for 4 because your Phoenix Flame always gets +1. And then anything on top of that is kind of gravy. But if you value it as a 1 for 4 Go Again, that's about right. That could have a little bit more upside.
Yeah.
I think that's...
It can really run away on the value train.
3.5 on that.
Yeah, we almost got it there.
I'm like a 3 maybe? How many stars do you say? 3? 2?
I said 4.
5? 4?
Yeah. It's barely a 4. It's not like a strong 4, you know what I mean? But it definitely, in a deck that doesn't want to block, if you're looking at your math, if you have a card in arsenal and 4 cards in hand, the potential value here is actually like 1 for 7 plus.
Well, if you're playing bad cards that attack for 1 and 2 and 3, I'm playing 4s, baby.
Well, more power to you,
Come
man.
on.
The thing is, you pitch a blue, swing for 1. You pay 2, swing the sword.
Yeah.
You have any 0 with any of the zeros that Go Again at that point.
Yeah, Phoenix Flame, etc.
And And then Phoenix Flame comes in from hand for free. Now it's at 2.
Yeah.
And like...
That's it, though. It's the end of it. That's the only benefit you've gotten. 1 Phoenix Flame plus 1. That's it.
Yeah, but the Chain Link 3 can come in too.
Yeah, well, if you're swinging a 2 attack, it would. Right?
Sure.
But who's playing 2 attacks?
Everyone.
I wouldn't
You'll
be.
see it in a second.
Come on, look, these are all 3. So, like, we got to be on the 4th Chain Link before this would even trigger on it.
No, you'll see it. It's like there's 0 for 3s with Go Again, or 0 for 2 on yellow, kind of a thing.
Uh-huh.
I felt the pain.
Combustion Point. 1 cost. Target Draconic or Ninja attack action card gains +1. You may banish a non-equipment defending card with armor less than the number of Draconic chain links you control. 3 defense. I told my story in the Uprising review of how I didn't play this card in Limited because I thought it was just armor. It's any card.
Yeah. Can be really good.
Yeah, it can be really good. I mean, at its best, right, it's like a route. You pay 1, you probably get 3 value off of the card that they blocked with, and then 1 for the pump. So it's like a 1 for 4, and it can make a hit effect happen.
Yeah, but if, you have a 3 damage attack that they're covering up for 3, it's 1 for 4 is pretty good at that point.
Yeah,
especially it's a game ender.
Yeah. I think it's 4 stars easy.
Yeah.
4 stars?
I think it's 4 stars because it can end the game.
Yeah.
Like
route.
Yeah, 100%.
But I love it at 1. Oof. Love it at 1. Engulfing Flame Wave, 5 stars. Red.
Really?
Yes. This is the best singular Draconic Ninja card maybe in the game.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Interesting.
2 costs. When it hits, reveal the top card of your deck. If it's an attack action card with cost less than the number of Draconic chain links you control, banish it. You may play it this turn. Yeah, this is what you use your Sandakai Sash thing on. That's the game. That's like the moment when you win the game. In all of my 5 matchups, oh my gosh. You pitch that blue, you swing with a 0, you swing that sword, you use your little ability, you Engulfing Flame Wave, you're guaranteed to hit because all your attacks are 0s and 1s. 0 and 1 cost, comes back in, has Go Again, boom, you can play that immediately that turn. That's a tempo swing like you've never seen.
If you 2 for 5 and get a 0 or 1 cost that you get to play and you can play it, it's backbreaking.
Yeah, because what else? Of course you're going to get it. Everything in this freaking card pool is 0 and 1. Everything. Except this card.
That said, though,
Yellow is pretty good too.
You need a 0 for 4 Go Again, or a 0 Go Again of any kind.
Yeah.
A blue to swing the sword.
Right.
You need to...
That's it.
Play this.
Or other lines here too, which
if you have the equipment.
You can also just do, let's leave the sword out of it, right? Blue, 0 cost, 1 cost, 2 cost, and then hit again. Like, I was hitting this every time at the premiere. And it was like, in games that I won as Fi, I went 2 and 1 in the premiere as Fi. This was hit every time it was this card.
Okay.
Turned it right over.
I'll believe you.
Yeah. Do you not like it?
I just...
What are you on, 3 stars? 2 stars?
I don't know. It 2 cost is tough. In a deck that is a lot of reds.
How has your Fi world been?
Not good.
It's been funny because I'm kind of watching it from the outside, but you seem to have some sort of like a prismatic problem in front of your face when it comes to playing Fi.
I don't know why.
You just can't win with Fi.
The thing about it is, I feel like when Tails was out, I was playing Briar. It's like, and Oldham. The math just makes sense to me. And Ninja is just not quite ever clicking. Like, ever.
I just go in slapping, man. I think you're just supposed to slap. Like, make as many attacks as you can.
Yeah, that's usually the goal, yeah. But somehow I end up not feeling that way. But I've never actually had the chess piece with Fi.
The furnace or the sash.
Yeah, I've never had the furnace either in Sealed, but
dude, the sash is everything.
Yeah,
I think for this card in particular. So I could see it being it's a conditional 3 and then sash 5.
I mean, 2 for 5 with Go Again is probably a 4, just on
strictly,
the math
right?
of it. Yeah,
yeah.
But there's just a lot of hands where you're on all reds. This is just a totally dead card. Doesn't block for 3. You're not. It's so hard to play.
I throw that in the arsenal, baby.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it can't be the first chain link you play because nobody likes a -1 cost card. Again, yellow's solid. Blue, I wouldn't really play that if I didn't have to.
Yeah.
Mounting Anger, 1 for 4, go again. So we're already in the pocket. When it hits, banish an attack action card from your hand with cost less than the number of Draconic Chainlinks you control. If you do, it gains +1, and you may play it this turn.
This is a 3-star. It's a fine card. 1 for 4 with go again is fine. The red one in particular. But it's basically just +1 because you can play the card from your hand anyway.
Yeah.
Like,
the reason I do like it more than some of these other ones is that I feel like it's always going to give you that benefit. A +1, like the line that you're doing anyway fits into this card. Whereas some of them are like reduce the costs. And it's like, that doesn't actually do anything for my turn because I've already planned out my pitch. So I don't need it to hit because you can't really plan a ninja turn around. This card is going to hit and give me a discount on this card that I banished so that I can play it. And if it doesn't hit, I'm done.
Yeah.
Right? So like it's just kind of an always on nice little benefit.
Yeah. I think it's 3-star.
3 stars. This is a classic.
Very playable,
Ninja
but also
Draconic
I'm not
card,
like
yeah.
super excited to see it.
Rise from the Ashes, 0 cost, ninja action. Next, Draconic or Ninja attack is +3, and you may return a Phoenix Flame from your graveyard to your hand. It's a fine card.
I like this card. It's like a 3.5 for me in limited.
Yeah, I'm with that. I think it's a solid 3-star.
Yeah.
It does enable some bigger turns, especially if you have 2 in the graveyard. You get 1, and then you do a line that gets you that second one. Always playable. 0 for 3. There's really not a world where you're not going to be doing that.
Yeah, I mean, at worst, you just play the Phoenix Flame for 3 with go again, right?
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I'm into this. Yeah, Rise from the Ashes, 3 stars, man.
I think it's pretty good.
3 stars. I wish it blocked for 3, though.
Now, what about Constructed?
I don't care about this in Constructed, right? Does anybody care about a 0 for 3 pump? We're not playing Nimblism.
I mean, it's Phoenix Flame, right? This goes into the Phoenix Form strategy to me.
It does.
Yeah.
There's the Phoenix, like, bazooka deck. Or the Exodia style.
I'm mildly sad. Like
We phoenixed everything.
As I really start looking at the cards and I realize there's a whole Phoenix Form deck that could be built, I'm mildly sad that I had a full art one that I traded to my brother. And I'm like,
He'll do it well, though. Yeah. He'll play a lot of Ninja.
He better. I won't. It'll just sit in a box somewhere.
Brand with Cinderclaw, 0 for 3, go again.
The 0 for 3s. Here they are.
0, 3, go again. It's still 3, though. 0 for 3, go again. Your next attack, this combat chain is Draconic, in addition to its other card types, which can sometimes be relevant. I was finding in my pools, at least it was not that relevant most of the time.
It's not doing anything.
But it's a 0 for 3 with go again. It starts your chain. You pitch a blue. You swing the sword. That's another 3. You're now 2 cards in for 6 damage. And then you have 1 floating. Anything on top of that, plus the Phoenix Flame. You're starting to generate value. Yeah, it looks good. 0 for 3, right? 0 for 3? Mm-hmm. 0 for 3, go again.
Yeah.
0 for 3, go again.
Yeah, I mean, I think the math earlier on whatever card I was talking about, the +1 to all your attacks, their whatever.
Their attacks less than the chain links.
Part of it to me depends on how many of these yellow and blue 0 for go again cards I've got. Because like the yellow brand with Cinderclaw and the blue one end up in decks. And like, if you have a lot of those,
sure,
it's really easy to get into value town on that one card.
Mm-hmm.
It's also a great like late game card if you've been pitching these yellows and blues. And then if you pitch that one, you actually have some weirdly big turns that you can set up.
Mm-hmm. It basically turns your yellows into reds. Mm-hmm. Not terrible. Yeah, so this is 3. I mean, do you put any 0 cost go again in Phi out of 4 to start? I don't know that I do. I think I'm a 3.
3 is the baseline.
Yeah.
And then the interesting thing is like 0 for 3 with go again and 0 for 1 for go again. A lot of times they're the exact same thing in my brain. So like actually would I rather have the red?
That's why you're playing Phi wrong.
Red or the blue? It's like you want reds, but unless you're playing as Phi, a 3 attack and a 1 attack, if they're going to block it, is usually same math, right?
Yeah. I just don't want to ever play a card for 1. Ever.
That same feeling applies to blocking that one.
Yeah, sure, but like you don't block a 1 because it's awful. Because of 1 damage.
Yeah, but like
who cares?
If I play a red for 3,
yeah, block 3.
All right. If I play a blue for 1,
yeah, you take 1.
Right.
Because like it's garbage. You paid a card for 1 damage. I'll let you do that all day, baby.
You only got 20 of them.
Cinderskin Devotion red, 1 cost, 4 attack, 3 defense. If you control 2 or more Draconic chain links, it gains go again. It basically, as the second card, it will have go again. I think we see this a lot. 0 for 3 to start, 1 for 4 into the sword, 2 for 3.
This one blocks for 3.
And then Phoenix Form. Yeah, this is an incredible card.
Yeah, super good.
What is it, 4 stars? I go 4 stars on this one.
It's 4 stars.
Yeah.
The 5, if it was 0 cost, it would be the 5-star Break Arena.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dust Runner Outlaw is the same card. It's a 1/4/2 with Go Again.
But it's built in Go Again.
But it's built in, so you can start the chain with it. So a lot of times this might look like Dust Runner Outlaw into Sword. It's actually an okay turn. Mm-hmm. That's a 7 damage 2 cards. Not terrible. If you have a Phoenix Flame in hand, obviously you can extend that turn out and get another Phoenix Flame back after that 3rd chain link. If you have any 0 for X, it also gets better. But again, this is a classic 3-ish, 3 stars.
Yeah, I think it's 3
This
stars.
is why Phi, though. This is why you see so many default Phi decks.
Yeah, because there's so many 3-star cards.
It's all just, they're all good.
Yeah, even like in that brand of Center Color, right? It's like you can play every color, every copy you get. And they're perfectly fine cards in that deck. Right?
Mm-hmm.
But the reality of you have a ton of just Go Again.
Yeah. Then we have the Red Lava Vein Loyalty, 0 for 3. 2 or more Draconics, has Go Again. Blocks for 3. It's a good card,
yeah,
right? It's just kind of doing everything.
It's the fact that it's free is really good.
Yeah.
What a statement.
That's my favorite part of it, yeah.
But just the number of times that you're going to have what it really enables too is kind of a 0 for 4 because you pay 1 for something with Go Again. You swing the sword. You play this, it has Go Again. You get the Phoenix.
That gets you the flame
back.
Yeah.
So these are really good.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. What is it? It's just solid. It's a solid 3, maybe a 4. Getting into 4 territory. Then we got Rebellious Rush. 2/5 Go Again. 2 defense.
This is the toughest one.
Looks like a 2-star card to me.
It's a 2-star card.
Yeah.
It only blocks for 2. It's super hard to actually play this card because if you're pitching a blue and have 1 floating, you're giving up the sword swing.
Yeah.
So you'd way rather have the 1 for 4 with Go Again with the sword swing because that's now 7 instead of 5 for the same reality. Now you can, off of a blue, pay 1 for the 1 for 4 and then pay 2 for the 5. So you're coming at 9. But you'd really rather not. This is a tough card.
Yeah.
Because there's going to be a lot of hands where you just don't have a blue. And when you don't, and it's only blocks for 2, you're not, let's be honest, you're not blocking with 5.
Yeah.
So you're pitching this card.
Yeah.
If you can't play it, and that's just bad.
And that's really bad.
Very bad.
I think this is the worst one that I've seen. 2 stars.
2 stars.
2 stars. Rising Resentment, 0 for 3 Go Again. So it's our favorite.
4 stars already.
And then when it hits, you can banish an attack from your hand. And then it costs 1 resource less to play, and you may play it this turn. So turns 1s into 0s usually is where this is super good. Or like the inflaming wave thing, 2 to a 1 makes that a lot better.
This is like 4.5 stars.
Yeah.
It's a strong 4 for me.
Yeah.
Almost a 5.
This is the hard one for me because I feel like the hit effect so often does not matter. Like, it doesn't actually get me any more value out of that turn because I held the cards. Again, maybe I shouldn't be blocking. So maybe that's the idea. But, I guess it allows you to play the card that you would have normally arsenaled, probably, at its best.
Mm-hmm. I mean, the thing is, it's 0 for 3 with Go Again.
Yeah.
So it's already in a certain level of conversation for me.
Yeah.
Because you start the chain, you pay 2 for the sword, you have 1 floating, you pay 1 for 4 with Go Again, you get the Phoenix Flame back for free. It enables that. It's really 0 for 4 because you get the Phoenix Flame free at the end.
That's really what all these 0-3 Go Agains are. That's where they get their value.
Yeah.
Is that Phoenix Flame for 4 comes in.
Yeah, that's why they're so good.
Yeah. So
I'm going to say 4 stars.
All right, 4 stars, reasonable. How about Ronin Renegade, 0 for 3 Go Again?
Same.
It's basically the same card, but less good. Strictly.
Yep, it is just a less good
It's
version.
just less good, so let's make it a 3-star card. 3 stars.
I said 3.5 for me, but we'll make it a 3. The red one is maybe a 4, just because it's 0 cost Go Again is so valuable.
Okay. Finally, Soaring Strike, 1 for 4. When it hits, you can banish an attack extra card from your hand with cost less than the number of Draconic chain links you control. If you do against Go Again, and you may play it this turn. Man, so often everything has Go Again anyway that this did nothing for me.
Yeah, so much stuff has Go Again already, and then not only that, to make it matter, this needs to be chain link 2 or 3.
Yeah.
And at that point, you have to still have a card to play and the resources to play it, and it didn't already have go again, and then you have to need the go again.
Yeah.
So this is actually like the red one at 1 for 4 with go again, 3 stars. The other two, I'm in the like 2 minus, maybe getting to 1 star. It has to be unplayable for me.
You can't. Yeah, I haven't seen anything unplayable yet.
Yeah, so 2 stars.
2 stars. 2 stars. 2 stars. Okay. All these cards are basically the same card. Also, by the way, that's the important thing to understand about Ninja, and really about melee classes most of the time, anyway.
I mean, in general, the game, it's like a card. It's the Fab Foundations math.
Yeah.
And then if you add an ability that's really good, it either costs more, or it has less block, or it has less attack, and the world goes around.
Yeah, you just spin it around.
Yeah.
Gritterstand, I've never gotten value from Soaring. You know, one time I've gotten value from Soaring in Critical Strike. I think it was having Go Again. There was a strange line that made that happen. So that was fun. Moving on to Draconic cards. So anyway, the Ninja cards are just kind of hard to like evaluate because it's just they're all pretty much the same idea.
Yeah.
Do your lines. Flamescale Furnace. Now this is a game breaker. Once per turn, instant. Costs you 1 to gain 1 for each red card in your pitch zone. Activated only if you've played a red card. So a lot of times this looks like it's a 0 cost card that has Go Again that is red, and then pitch a red, and then essentially you gain 2, I think, at that point. Reds become 2. But you pitch the red. Yeah. Then you gain 2. So you net 1?
So the real
What's the
net
juice
would
on
be
this?
if you 0. Tell me how this works.
Yeah, I've seen it run it.
Go Again red card.
Yeah.
And then you pitch a red for something.
Yeah.
And then you pitch a red for this, you get a resource back.
Ugh.
So it turns 2 reds into 3 resources.
Yeah.
Because you're not pitching 3 reds.
No.
Technically, if you did, though, you'd pitch 2 reds, so it's 2 resources. The third one you pitch gets you 3 resources back.
Yeah, true.
So it turns 3 reds into 5 resources.
Okay, and it scales up from there. You can imagine where it goes.
Yeah.
Right.
Now, I don't know the timing structure on this, but if you had a 5-cost dragon and you had 3 reds in hand, could you pitch a red, let's say you Scar from Arsenal or something, pitch a red, instant pitch a red furnace?
No. You've got to announce the dragon first and then pay all the costs before you can activate this ability.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
But as Anthony's saying here in the chat, the red value, at least in limited, is 2 block, which is crazy.
Yeah, 2 blocks great in limited.
This is a 5-star card in limited just because it blocks 3, ultimately. And then maybe it's useful.
Yeah, maybe it's useful. Yeah.
There's a scenario where I could easily see you play a 0 dragon, right? Converts an ash. You pitch 2 for reds with the dragon. You have 1 left. Pitch, and like the Arsenal card was like in a card that you need to pay 3 for or something. Yeah. Like it can create weird value for sure.
Yeah, it's that prism vestige math that all these illusionists are seemingly wanting to do.
In Constructed, perchance, maybe someone's out there thinking to themselves, if I could just stack with 4 dragons.
You see that out there?
Then you see out there? Picture of me. Then you have certain books that you can pay 1 to draw 2 with.
The Tome of Firebrand.
Yeah.
It's the same thing, man. It's the Tome of Divinity for 4. It's the same thing.
Yeah, so if you Scar or whatever, Rabble, name,
etc.,
convert a 0-cost dragon with Go Again.
Yeah.
And then you have a bunch of baby dragons that all attack, and your opponent doesn't pop them. And then you're like, pitch a red, draw 2.
Yeah.
You literally have 3 cards left, and maybe an Arsenal card. So like, pitch a red, draw 2. Pitch a red, draw 2.
So you're an ideas guy.
Pitch a red. You've drawn, right? Pitch a red now, gain 3 resources. Interesting.
Yeah.
There's some... That'll play.
You could have some weird lines.
Yeah.
That'll play.
This is a constructed card, you know what I mean?
Yeah, so like, obviously, it's going to be playable. Right? I mean, they didn't just mess up. Honestly, it's good. Message was good.
I play Blessy Skeleton sometimes in Briar just for the armor.
Yeah. It's good armor.
And sometimes in an all-red hand, this could be weirdly good.
Oh, he's got a face. I didn't realize he had a face on him there.
Yeah.
I just saw the furnace. I thought it was like kind of a dragon face. That's cool. Yeah. So ultimately, Dromai probably uses this best because you're already wanting to pitch these reds to make ashes, apparently. That's the way they want us to do it. But I'm not sure that it's the resource engine we want it to be. That's why we play Constructed, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'll give it unknown stars.
In limited 5 stars and constructed, 3 stars currently. But this is one of those cards, weirdly,
It's going to happen.
like the other card that was really appealing to me was Earthor Bounty,
Mm-hmm.
which are these chess pieces that generate weird amount of resources for weird reasons.
Yeah.
I'm all about it, and I
Yeah.
don't know why. I think it's because they have the potential to create insane value.
Yeah. You're an upside guy.
Yeah, but it's not like a Tunic where you know you're getting the 1 value every 3 turns.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Sash of Sandakai. Destroy.
Yeah, 5 stars.
Gain resource. This is a 5-star card for me. I love this card. In limited, I love this card.
5 stars. Constructed. Why aren't you playing Tunic?
Yeah.
That's the,
Maybe it has a place in Blitz where the games don't last and the points don't matter. Right? Sometimes I never get to use my Tunic in Blitz.
it's true.
So this is like,
I forget about that.
Yeah.
Darling of a format.
After that Team Blitz event, you aren't sold? Yeah. All right, let's look up Thaw. 2 for 6.
Here's a question. Just making sure.
Yeah.
We're gonna make it through this list there, right? Are you committed to this?
Oh yeah, we're almost there.
We're like halfway.
We're almost there. We'll just keep moving.
I'm gonna open this door.
Now we could do a part 1 here if we wanted, and then we'll go to Elemental Wizard on part 2. If you want to do that.
Wait a second. Let me open this door.
What I really want to do is stop here, open 6 packs, and play some sealed. That's what I really want to do. Thaw is a 2 for 6, 2 defense. We'll make our decision after the Draconic cards. That's about halfway through. How many are in the set?
220.
Are you serious? Yeah. That would be at 101. So that would be about halfway.
Mm-hmm.
So Thaw, 2 for 6, 2 defense. While it's in your graveyard at the start of your turn, banish it and choose 1. Destroy target Frostbite. Destroy target Ice Affliction. Unfreeze target Frozen card. Only way to get rid of Frost Hex.
5 stars.
5 stars. Everything's 5.
Yeah, limited 5 stars.
I love this game. Everything's 5 stars.
Yeah, you get a 5, and you get a 5. Blocks for it's a 6 attack. It's 5 stars.
Yeah.
The fact that against Icelander, it also has another upside. Fantastic. I mean, what else do you want out of a card? Honestly?
Good against Icelander, good against Dromai.
I even play it in the if I'm fine, it's fine. 2 for 6.
Yeah.
Fine value.
Yeah. That's where your little Sash of Sandakai comes in. You know, you swing with a sword, 0 cost, swing the sword, crack it.
A surprise 6 is that's the best kind of surprise.
Yeah, surprise 6.
Yeah, woof.
Beautiful art too. Love that card. I'm surprised they didn't get a Marvel. You know, they only did the dragons.
This in Cold Flow would have been disgusting.
Liquefy, 1 cost.
Gross.
Draconic attack reaction. Rupture. If it's played at Chain Link 4 or higher, target attack action card gains when this hits a hero. Put a -1 counter on an equipment they control. Then if it has 0 armor, destroy it. I don't think I played this in limited.
No. Unplayable.
One star.
1 star.
Our first 1 star in limited.
Yeah, it's 1 star. It's unplayable. Like, even if it is playable, they have to have an equipment that matters that they also can't react to use.
Yeah.
It's
constructed, however,
possibly good.
it's like Shatter, but it is better than Shatter.
Definitely. Yeah, because all you have to do is have a wide turn.
Yeah.
Which they do, because they're going to be on Art of War and the usual suspects.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to be uncomfortable, and it's
And
fine.
you can't block everything.
Dude, I'm telling you.
I don't know, though, because by the time you get to 4 or higher, that's kind of hard, because it's not... You have to have this card in hand, also be at Chain Link 4 or higher, and you have to not need a pump to make this attack good.
In constructed, this is very plausible, though.
Yeah.
Especially if you really need it to happen. So, like...
Kill that freaking shield.
Shield or Crown of Seeds.
Yeah.
Like, this and Ninja against Crown of Seeds is just, like, primo value.
All we think about is Crown of Seeds and Shield, because it's the most degenerate thing in this game right now.
S tier, man. S tier.
Yeah.
But that's... So, in, like, picture the Phoenix Form hypothetical deck we're talking about, where you have cards that fish out the Phoenix Flames from discard pile or deck, and you get to play the Phoenix Flame. It's super easy to get to 4 chain links in that scenario, especially if you start the turn with like Tunic, Art of War, banish a card, draw 2. Like, now all of a sudden it's just like impossible easy to get there.
Okay.
But I digress.
Yeah, it will sideboard into certain matchups for the equipment super important, and it'll kill a Tunic. So proud we are of all of them. Uprising, 0 cost, 3 block, Next 4 Draconic attacks get +1. Go again. It's got to be 5 stars, right?
Unbelievable.
This card is bustedly good. Why is it so good?
It's, it's majestic. It's the name of the set. It's got to be good.
Why is it so good, though? It's a 0 for 4. That's not terribly great.
I'll tell you why it's so good.
Okay.
It blocks for 3. It's 0 cost red with go again.
Yeah. Good for Dromai.
In Dromai,
good
you have 5 dragons out. It's just like, what is happening
Good
here?
for Dromai, good for Fi.
It's like a 1 card that enables the 4 or 5 dragons to attack, and they all get +1.
Yeah, but the first one gets popped, your turn's over.
Yeah, if you're so lucky.
And then Fi can make use of this in a big way. I've had Fi turns with this card that are great.
Even if it literally just nets you 3 or 2, the right 2 really matters.
I don't know. Still 0 for 2. Let's not get ahead of ourselves here. What would Eric Wainwright tell you? Math is no good.
Yeah.
0 for 2.
But I'll be playing it every time.
Yeah, I'm going to play it in every deck. In fact, if I get this card in a sealed pool, I have to play Draconic, I think.
Yeah, it's just very flexible too.
Yeah.
Like, it's just super flexible.
Yeah.
I like it. I actually like it better in Dromai than I do Fi, but, I would play it neither, for sure. Blocks for 3 is... I can play it in every hand and it blocks for 3.
Yeah, it's always good, isn't it? Tome of Firebrand. This is a 1 cost. If you control 4 or more Draconic chain links, you can play it and you draw 2 cards.
Yeah, I'll break this.
I think I'm not playing this unlimited.
0% chance. You know why?
1 star.
1 star. You know why?
Because it doesn't block.
Blocks for 0.
Yeah.
Even...
But you don't block in Fi, so what does it matter?
Yeah. Now, I will say, in Dromai, if you have a heavy Baby Ashwing deck, still don't play it.
Yeah.
Because you have to get to that point, and if you're at that point anyway, you're probably winning. If you're at that point and you have this card in your hand and you need to block, and then you lose because you just couldn't block, that's just dumb.
Yeah, it's just tough and limited to play these cards.
Hey, we're not gonna do that.
But in Constructed, this is gonna happen. You know what's gonna happen, and it's gonna be crazy, and they're gonna have 38 damage turn, and you're gonna be like, oh my gosh, I don't believe that this hero exists.
Yeah, it will happen.
And then it won't happen again.
Yeah. Now imagine if you had some way of pitching a single card that would make this card free. Now we might be finally getting to my deck that I've been telling the world about on the internet.
Knick-Knack Brick-a-Brand? No.
We'll see it in a minute.
Red Hot.
It looks like a dragon. I have a dragon.
2 cost. Drillmeyer 5 specialization. If it's played as Chainlink 4 or higher, it has. When you attack with it, so it's a 2 for 4. When you attack with it, reveal the top X cards, where X is the number of Draconic Chainlinks you control. So let's just assume that's 4. Deal damage equal to the number of red cards revealed this way to any target. So this could potentially be a 2 for 8.
I don't even know how he did it. Tim played this in Sealed against me, and actually it was it was 4 Draconic Chainlinks. Mm-hmm. And he hit 4 out of 4 reds.
Yeah.
Gross.
2 for 8, man.
Yeah, I mean, so paying 2 at Chainlink 4 is not easy.
Yeah. It's the same math as the Engulfing Flame Wheel.
Yeah, 0 cost, pitch 2, swing the sword, Phoenix Flame in hand, or a 0 for 3 again. Get a free Phoenix Flame, have 1 flood, and use the stash. Come in for 4. Now you got 5 Chainlinks.
That's 5 Chainlinks.
Yeah.
It's Bugatti.
Look at 5. Here we go. Could also be a 2-4 without go again, but it's a fine turn ender.
You know what else?
Blocks for 3.
Blocks for 3.
Blocks for 3.
Blocks for 3. Love it. I'll give this.
You know what? Too, I will give it half of a bonus star for looking cool, and another half for looking even in foil. There's some special foiling on this card, and it just looks.
That puts it to 4 stars.
4 stars, man. 4-star card. Clearly a 4-star card.
Limited for sure. Constructed, I think we have to ask ourselves, how often is Fi pitching more than 1 card?
You mean Dromai?
Maybe Dromai. Yeah, I guess Dromai.
Dromai gets here
I just assume against Dromai, you never actually get to swing mini dragons because they pop it. They always pop it. Or they wizard it, you know?
I mean, it would maybe astound you how often people do not have a popper in hand.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of decks are struggling to get to 8 or 9 6s in deck. Like, that's a weird sideboard, even at 9.
You're absolutely right. Yeah.
So, like, they're going to have it every other hand, but half their hands, statistically at 9, half their hands won't have it.
So I might try to bring this in the matchups where they're going to have to scrape for 6s.
Yeah.
I would not bring this in against Guardian, for instance.
That's the big equalizer. You're going to have a whole different plan against Guardian.
Yeah. Rise Up. 1 cost. 3 damage. 3 block. already good. If it's played as Chainlink 4 or higher, it has Dominate and plus X, where X is twice the number of Phoenix Flames you control. So let's say we get to Chainlink 4 with 2 Phoenix Flames. It comes in for 7 Dominate off of a 1, which is easier to afford. Which is fine. This is a fine card, right? You're not lighting the world on fire on this, are you?
I feel like there is the Phoenix Form deck, right? And this is right in there because you're already going to want to be fishing the Phoenix Flames out of both deck and discard pile. And then this is just like, okay, like now you get this thing, costs 1, could be coming in. Let's say you play 2 Phoenix Flames on the turn that you play it.
Yeah.
So 1 for 7. It's not a bad turn ender.
For 7 Dominate.
But in Constructed, it might not make it because it is so conditional.
Yeah. Huh. Okay. Blaze Headlong. This is a great card. 0 for 4. If you played another red, it has go again.
Yeah.
We love it.
It's probably 4.5 stars for me. Leaning 5.
4 stars it is.
But it's probably 4
I'm the
stars.
conservative-minded person here. A bit of a pessimist.
Yeah, I'm thinking Constructed too. It's just fine. It's Draconic. It's red. It's coming in for 4 with go again most of the time. Like, great card.
Yeah, 0 for 4. Go again. What more do you need to say, right? Scar for scar right there.
I love that all these Draconic cards only come in red.
Yeah. Super slick.
Yeah, that's
right?
really cool.
Breaking Point, 1 cost, 5 attack, 3 defense. If it's Chainlink 4 or higher, it has when it hits a hero, destroy all cards in their arsenal. I'm going to be honest with you. I love this card.
I went from this, when I first saw it, it was 5 stars. I'm now on a 4-star situation.
Yeah, it's 4 stars. I think 4 stars is appropriate.
Because a lot of the times, it's not, a couple of reasons. Like, a lot of times, you're not going to be able to play it on Chainlink 4.
Sure.
A lot of the times, too, they don't have anything in their arsenal, particularly Fi.
Yeah.
When I play against 5 players, that arsenal sits empty 90% of the time. Mm-hmm. It's crazy.
Yeah, because they just slap it.
Yeah.
That's the whole thing. You got to slap.
I have a 4-card hand, of course.
You're arsenaling too much when you play Fi. Otherwise, just 1 for 5 is a critical strike. It's still a fine playable card. You mean 0/0 blue, swing the sword, Phoenix Flame, Breaking Point is a fine thing to do.
I like it in Dromai way more than I like it in Fi. Because she likes to have turn ender cards.
For 1 though.
It's fine.
Man, I feel like she's in the same like Bolton situation where it's like she really just wants to play that 0 go again and just start slapping with those dragons.
Yeah, but that lets her get to 5 chain links or 4 chain links.
Yeah, and then you got to pitch a card, just play 1 card.
But like if you're pitching a blue to play a dragon anyway, then you swing with a bunch of baby dragons and then you play this thing. Threatening Arsenal, it's easier to get to 4th chain link, I guess, is the point. With her if you have a baby dragon deck.
If you got the babies, yeah. Yeah, that's a great question, actually. I'd be curious to really math that out. Burn Away. 0 for 2. Now, this is an interesting card. This is a really interesting card. 0 for 2. You can banish a Phoenix Flame from your graveyard, and when you do, burn away again, +2 and go again, because it's 0/4 go again, 3 block, turn starter. I hated this card until I played it. And then I liked it.
Yeah, because realistically in Fi, I think you're going to play 2 or 3 Phoenix Flames.
Yeah.
And you definitely want to keep 1 around. But once you have 2 in the discard pile, if I told you there was a 0 for 4 red, go again, that blocks for 3.
You'd play it.
You'd play it.
Yeah, I played this in my Dromai deck as well. I had 1 Phoenix Flame in there. And this one.
Bold man.
So it's like, listen, I'm going to block for 3 with this most of the time. I'm going to pitch it actually early most of the time, which is what I would do. And then, you get a Phoenix Flame in your graveyard, and then late in the game, you use 0/4. It's not great.
I think...
but I think I needed like 2 playable cards, so I put a Phoenix Flame and like a blue Sifting in or something.
Hot tip. I think that in draft, people play less Phoenix Flames in Dromai than they should.
Yeah.
Because... it lets you basically not have to draft as many red go-again cards.
Yeah.
That
just Phoenix Flame, Dragon Army.
Turn starters. Yeah. So if you're doing it right, that's exactly what you do. And then it depends. If you have Draconic cards like this that actually play off of it too, it gets even better. Because this is yet another red go-again card that, you get it.
I'm with it. I mean, it's got her on the art, so
it's...
Probably,
built to hit.
Probably a built to hit, yeah. Flameborn Retribution, 1 cost, 3 damage. Go again. When you defend with it, if you've been dealt damage this turn, you may return a Phoenix Flame from your graveyard to your hand. This is like the most average card. It's maybe below average. It's a 2-star card for me.
It's a 2.
2 stars.
I
2
liked
stars.
it a lot at first, conceptually, but the number of times that I'm blocking with it before I've taken damage is high.
And it's a 2-block.
And it's when you defend. So if you take damage from the thing this is blocking, it doesn't count.
Right.
So then you need to actually take something first and then block with this. And so many times that's just unrealistic.
It is a 1 for 3 go again, so it doesn't do nothing.
Yep.
So we'll give it a 2-star.
Yeah, it's 2.
Across the board.
It's below the curve for me.
Yeah. If it was 0, it'd be a 3, right? And then Flame Call Awakening, this one's better, I think. 1 for 3 go again. When you attack with it, if you played another red card, you may search your deck for a Phoenix Flame, put it into your hand, shuffle. This is actually quite good.
Yeah.
I like this a lot.
Super good.
This is in the Phoenix form deck too, that
absolutely.
we're working on.
Yeah. That we're discussing as we go.
I would. This is like a 3.5 to me. I would even consider going 4. I'm on 2 Phoenix Flames and 5 right now. I'm not sure that that's right though.
In sealed?
Yeah. What are you on? 3?
I think it depends on the cards in your deck, right? Like if you have the burnaways.
Why can't we just get objectively definitive statements?
If you have a lot of cards that fish them out.
Yeah.
Like 3 is better.
Yeah.
But if you don't, like I think my sealed pool in Vegas had none of that. So I was like, I don't want to draw a bunch of 0 blocks.
Yeah.
Yeah, little did I know you don't block anyway.
Yeah, the end. In Flame, a 0/1 go again. Well, that's interesting. When you attack with it, if you played another red card, you may return a Phoenix Flame from your graveyard to your hand.
Yep.
You probably like this card.
I do like this card. Red 0, go again. Turn starter for Dromai. And if I starts the turn, now you didn't have to pitch to play that first go again thing. You swing the sword. You already have the Phoenix Flame. You play it. You get
So you don't even do the text because the problem with this that I keep running into is you use it as a starter. It's just really bad.
Yeah, you do not want to start with it.
You don't want to do that. So it's like you need a 0 for 3, and then sword 0/1.
I'll tell you what it really
Phoenix
is.
Flame.
Pitch a blue 1 for 4 with go again. Swing the sword. Play this.
Yeah.
Get a Phoenix Flame for free. You get a Phoenix Flame back from this as well.
Yeah.
So you Phoenix Flame on your Heat Wave turn.
Yeah.
Bada bing, bada boom.
There's your Heat Wave turn right there. And then also it, of course, opens up Phoenix Form. So
we back, baby.
So that's basically the strategy.
Too, all of the cards that come in full art here are the Phoenix Form cards. It's 100% just the deck waiting to be built.
Yeah, I think it's a sealed strategy that nobody's tried.
Not sealed strategy. I think it's a strategy. What I just don't understand is why the resident Wolfpack 5 player, Tim, hasn't built a Phoenix Form deck.
Yeah. He's kind of a raw value guy.
It's like the...
You're kind of the slot machine
Lord
guy.
of Wind.
Yeah.
I like the bigger plays, yeah.
Yeah, you like to channel Mount Heroic. You like to be like, I just hit it.
Yeah. It's like I put
slam
you
it.
in an impossible to win position. Good luck.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyways, it just sounds fun. All the Phoenix Form stuff. Can he even pull it off? Draw 3? Imagine.
Yeah, can you do it?
Can you imagine?
Can you do it?
Yeah, draw 3 for free. Get out of here.
Hey, let's talk about Lava Burst. I'm hot on this card, and I think I'm about the only one. If it's Chainlink 4 or higher, it's +3, so it's a 0 for 5, blocks for 3.
Yeah, this is really good. It blocks for 3. You put it in Arsenal, of course. And
I think it's my favorite Rupture card.
And then the line is 0 with go again, doesn't matter. Or pay 1, go again, swing the sword, get a Phoenix Flame back, then play this thing. Mm-hmm. Idealize 0, pitch a blue, 2, swing the sword, pay 1, go again, and then get a Phoenix Flame back for free.
And then Lava Burst for 5.
Off to the races.
Yeah. I love this in my 5 decks.
Yeah, I actually pulled this Rupture off more than a lot.
Yeah.
Because it costs 0.
Yeah, it's fantastic. It costs 0. This is incredible. I love this card very much. I'm going 5 stars on Lava Burst.
I'm going to go 4 stars.
I'm willing to do it.
I understand why you're there, but I'm a 4-star on that one.
I just needed something in this Draconic
What
pool
happens
to
when
be...
we keep just yelling out stars?
It'll do 5, and then it'll do probably 4 after, or maybe not. I got the 5 in before you registered the 4, so it showed the 5 on the screen.
I just look. It's a cool animation that's coming out.
Yeah, it's nice. Oh, then we get your 4s. That's your
for
Zax rating.
Anyone listening that cares. I ruled out everybody. What happened? It'd be cool if it could recognize our voices and put the star count on You know, like you have a star count over there and I have a star count over here.
Yeah, we're working. Static stuff is harder.
Yeah.
We have things that can come in and out, but we don't have things that can live on the screen and then update over time. Just the way that it's
Now,
built.
if I had a little switch over here and I could hit a button,
We can do that. That's
my
actually
stars
literally
show
in
up?
the proposals folder right now.
come on
Yeah,
now.
it's called a what do they call that? A key something?
Soundboard.
No, effectively, yeah. It's a
But for
visual
visuals?
soundboard, yeah. Searing Touch, 1 for 3. If it's Chain Link 4 or higher, you deal 2 damage to any target when you attack with it. So it's also a 1 for 5, but it's a 1 for 5.
Yeah.
And you can also side out to a dragon or something when you attack with it.
Well, the
Split damage, 3-2.
The biggest thing to me is this: the 2 unpreventable damage to most heroes.
Yeah.
Can't arcane barrier it, right?
Can't block it.
Can't block it. They have to have Quell left to stop this. It can be really good, but I agree with you that like 1 cost on the Rupture cards are just so hard to pull off.
Yeah. And it blocks for 3. So
Yeah.
hide your kids, hide your wife on that one.
Cordell saying I built a Phoenix Form deck and it's the craziest it got was 9 chain links threatening 32 damage.
It's not bad. That's not bad. Stoke the Flames, 1 cost, 4. Blocks for 3. When it hits, you may return a Phoenix Flame from your graveyard to your hand. If you do, Stoke the Flames, gains go again. Almost a must block here, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
4 must block is tough in this format.
5 stars and sealed.
Okay. It's going for it.
It is so if you have a 0 cost, right?
Stick with me here.
0 cost, you swing a sword and you have 1 play and you play this as channeling 3.
Yeah.
If you have another card in your hand, it is so much potential value that they can't let it happen because you're also going to get the Phoenix Flame and you're going to get the free Phoenix Flame too.
Yes, it does 2 damage. You don't block this, you're taking 6.
Yeah, and if they do block it, they're down 2 cards. You put the 4th card in Arsenal.
Yeah.
Like, good, crazy good setup card.
Yeah, these are good value cards. I like these. I like these 3-block Draconic payoff cards.
You'll notice this also comes with full art. I mean, it's just building itself.
Then we have Phoenix Flame. I think we've talked about. I mean, Phoenix Flame is great. It's not even a rating. It's an idea. It's a way of life. It's a philosophy.
Yeah, it's true.
Play it. I think we do. Depending on your pools, 2 to 3 in Phi, and then maybe 1 in Dromai. Maybe 2 in Dromai.
It all comes down to how many red 0 costs you've got, and then how many Draconic cards that you were able to get that mention this card.
Yeah.
My favorites are the ones that fish it out of your deck so that you don't draw into it and can't
Yeah,
block.
because nobody wants to draw into it.
Yeah.
But then you play that card and you've already seen all of them out of your deck and it's dead and it's a bummer too. Finally, we have what's that unknown slot?
It's the majestic version of Phoenix
Oh,
Flame.
okay. They haven't
I love
shown us
this.
what it looks like.
Gruder saying, live, laugh, Phoenix Flame.
Yeah. Finally, Blood of the Drakai. Legendary. Looks good. It's it's a jewel.
This is where the Flame Furnace is on fire.
When you pitch, the next 3 Draconic cards cost 1 less. Oh, so it's a one-time thing.
So let's say you pitch it to play,
And then let's just say that everything's 1 cost less.
1 cost less, but it's a red card that you pitched, right? So this will make those tomes free that draw you 2. This will also, it's a great card to pitch in later Furnace because it's double resourcing, right? Because this is essentially a red that kind of pitches for 3 if you're going to use the discount fully. So it's the least painful red in the game to pitch.
Yeah, for sure.
So you pitch 1 other red with it, and then all of a sudden you're triggering the Furnace and getting 3 back from a red as well. It's just like a value.
This is the bomb. This is the moment where the Draconic player has to win the game.
Yeah, and I think that it's so thematic because the Flame Furnace wants this to in my mind to really fuel up into this crazy trend.
You think the Flame Furnace is more of a Bloodsheath Skeleton and less of a Tunic?
Yeah. Yeah. Because if you're getting the Tunic value out of it, you're pitching a ton of reds and you're losing.
Yeah, you're losing.
Yeah.
That's the thing about red cards.
But if you block for 2 and then later in the game, you're play this, draw 15 cards, and
let's build that Phoenix Form deck already, man. What are we waiting on?
Yeah. Well, I wasn't even thinking about this with Phoenix Flame. But the real value of this card is going to be Flame Furnace with this whenever we get that Rune Blade.
Yeah, when you get that Vis.
I swear, man.
Yeah, that Vis. Yeah, I don't know. All of these I try to put in decks sometimes and then I always cut them because they don't block.
Now, I'll say limited 1 star.
Yeah, why would you? I mean, maybe. Maybe you play it. How can you not? Look at it. It's beautiful.
Man. Agreed. But I don't know, dude.
I mean, but here's the thing, man. I could just do the following.
2 stars? All right, go up to 2 stars for you.
I could pitch Blood of the Draconic to play a 1-cost Sweeping Blow, let's say. And then I could play a free Sweeping Blow.
It's Sweeping Draconic.
Oh, I don't know. Did they say Draconic Illusionist on them? Is that the idea? Yeah, they're all Draconic. Yeah. Billowing Mirage. I could do Sweeping Blow, Billowing Mirage,
And you're
swing
out of
with
cards.
8 dragons.
Yeah, there's that world.
Yeah, you know. So I it's 2-star world.
I think
2 stars.
the problem with it is it's fine because but it's just a pitch card, right? It's never gonna block. So you pitch for 1, and let's say you get 1 reduce out of it. It's really a yellow pitch.
Well, you just drew it at the wrong time then.
Well, don't do that.
Yeah, right. Try it at the right time. Duh.
I'm gonna say 1.5 stars in constructed, and limited, and I'm gonna say 5 stars constructed.
Oh, come on.
Yeah.
That is a embarrassment of the scale we've been using.
This card will break in a good way. Like a deck will live on this card at some point.
Well, luckily it's limited to 1 per deck.
Yeah.
So it'll only happen ever so often. Yeah. All right, we're gonna pack it out. We're gonna rename this the Draconic cards, and we'll come back in.
Genius.
And we'll come back in and do the Elemental Ice cards next time.
Yeah, genius.
Do you want to finish off by just opening 6 packs and just seeing what's in there?
I would do that.
Do you have 6 in there?
I do, yeah.
Let's do that. I want to see some cards.
I literally saved an entire case.
Let's open 6 packs.
For this case.
We'll do a quick
Build.
eval, and then next time we'll come in, we'll do the ice cards, and then we'll play a game of Sealed with these packs we're about to open. How's everybody feeling out there? It's we can't see ourselves. The monitor's gone, so look at this.
It's like ceremony.
Yeah, look like you're bringing it in. Is that the? Do I need to get some incense or?
Yeah, the dragon incense.
Clutch my
The smoke.
rosary. Do we need to turn off the lights? Isn't that kind of the
It's just
vibe?
a red glowing flame. A sealed case being unsealed. Someday, somewhere, someone might care. I see people mention to me all the time about the early Fab videos where we're playing
Yeah.
alpha without any sleeves, and also just like there's boxes sitting in the background. Like we had no idea.
You know, buying it by the case kind of takes some romance out of it, doesn't it? Just in that boring cardboard box.
If you actually get it in the case, I don't know. Eventually, the cardboard becomes attractive. You know what I mean? It's like it's case time.
At what point do you have a problem? Is it when the cardboard is looking good? Is that when it is?
May have been a bit hasty there, Greg. All right, what we're Coldfoil Fabled or bust. That's where I'm at. I need it.
Okay.
I literally opened one right before the stream, and it's just like the envy, not even envy, the desire
Yeah.
is real. All right,
Yeah, and that's
6
definitely
packs.
healthy. 6 each, yeah.
Or like some Marvel Dragons.
The paper packs are nice. They're good, right? And they're definitely paper, you can tell, but I like it.
The paper packs are 5 stars for me.
5 stars, paper packs.
They're so much easier to open. They're environmentally sustainable. I saw someone was using them for what do you like grind it up and put it in the flower bed.
Compost?
There it is. Whew, it's been a long stream. You gotta do pack at a time.
Yeah, sure. That's good.
We're toying with the idea. This is a crazy idea of doing a stream where we open 8 packs
Got an Ash and a Waning Moon.
and we literally do an entire draft, hands up, for all 8 people on stream.
Yellow Scar, not what you want to see there. Flame. Like it. It's also not what I want to see. Glacial Horns, okay. Red Sift, yikes. Ooh, foil burned them all. That's nice. Foil Majestic there.
Mm-hmm.
Looks great.
Ooh, that looks
good.
great.
We got Yunderai as well. We're going to invoke Yunderai here. Get this hand cover. I like Blue Frosting and Icelander a ton. It's a good card.
Frosting is, we didn't get to those cards, but it's the money.
Ooh, and look at this. Just yellow ninjas.
Yeah.
Not excited.
I also got Yellow Blue Ninja. I did get, look at this. Amber Moss, Centipede Blue. Dunebreaker Centipede blue, so that's fine.
That's all right.
It's fine base. But look,
Color Cat blue, not exactly excited about
look
that.
at this wizard pack. So it's just a ton of that's illusion.
Blue transmog. Yeah, blocks for 2.
Dampens okay. Read the ripples is confusing. Brain Freeze, actually, we'll evaluate those cards heavily next time. But it's less valuable than I want it to be because the number of times that, like, a part of his hand has to be a 0 cost, and you have to fuse it, and then sometimes it doesn't do anything. Arctic Incarceration, that's a bomb card.
This is great, yeah.
Blue especially.
Arctic is phenomenal. 2 Frostbites on their turn, we love it.
Aether Hail, also fine.
Yeah, it's a fine yellow.
1 for 3, but it's just an ice card. So
I like this burn them all.
Yep.
You know what? I'm gonna be able to put my limited idea to the test here.
You will literally get to be able to play it.
See, and that red Cold Snap is fine. Where are you on Cold? Well, I guess we'll save it. But where are you on Cold Snap ultimately?
It's fine.
It's fine. Right?
The blue in particular is good.
Yeah.
Like I just got one here, just because it's an ice card that you can play from Arsenal. Yeah, dude, look at this. I have 2 pieces of wizard equipment now. Spellfire Cloak, and then the Conduit of Frostburn.
Conduit's not nearly as good as that Glacial Horn.
Got my first dragon, Invoke Ovia. I love this one.
That's a good one.
That's a necessary card to make this
2
work.
for 6. Boom. Put it in the master stack. Blaze Headlong. You always like to see that. Heat Wave. We got our ninja equipment finally.
I got a Phoenix Flame. Just kidding. Notable cards from this pack for me. I got a red Rake the Embers. I like that.
That is notable.
And I got a dragon. I did get a red Aether Hail in this pack, which is just a 1 for 4 ice card. Love that. It's great to fuse with.
Awesome. And then you can immediately moon for 2.
Yeah,
it's like a 2 for 6
so
turn. It's really solid.
Also got a yellow Singe, which is really good into the Draconic match. So do appreciate that. So Wizards looking really good. I have this fat stack of Wizards cards at this point. But
dude, yeah, you're looking really good on Wizard.
Pack 2, I'm looking okay. Like the Illusionist is still there, and the Ninja is fine. I literally have 1 red Ninja card. It's your favorite. Engulfing Flame Wave.
It's great.
But like, look at this, just garbage pail.
I mean, you want to see garbage. Look at this wizard pool so far.
Getting a lot of dampens over there. Cold Snaps.
Yellows and red Read the Ripples. Like, what is this? And then we got red Brand with Cinderclaw is good. We got red Skittering Sands for Illusionist. I like that. Yellow Rebellious Rush is fine. It's a fine card. Red Dust Up. I like seeing that. And Ronin Renegade is solid. So far, if I get 1 or 2 more dragons, I'm feeling okay.
Dude, this is a Bugatti pack. Look at this. I got red Blaze Headlong.
Yeah.
It's already great.
We like it.
I got a red Brothers in Arms.
Yeah, love it. We want some more of it.
Tide Flippers, technically.
This is in my kind of garbage pile. Brothers in Arms is notable. Blue Arctic. Sorry, I shouldn't gasp at just good cards. You're looking for like
good stuff.
Collectible stuff.
Strategic Planning is actually better in Illusionist than I thought it would be.
You can screw with 5 with it, right?
You can put a Phoenix Flame on the bottom, but its ability to get your dragons back is really nice. Aether Dart, any 0 arcane damage card I like.
Yellow Flex is really not the one you want.
It is definitely not.
Yeah, I was going to put that in the garbage pile too. Tell me Firebrand, look at that.
Unplayable. But, hey, great card. We'll take it.
Foil Sigil of Protection Red. Is this ever good? Yes.
Yeah, it's a great card.
Played against Icelander for sure. Yellow Ice Vein is still good. Red Singe, good in the Dromai Mirror for sure. Yellow Polar Cap, you're not terribly excited about that. Yellow Bowling Mirage, it'll play. Yellow Lava Vein, not exactly happy about it. Red Skittering Sands again, okay. And I got a... Wait, what is this? I got a dragon check. This has just come randomly?
It's just a token card.
Okay, it doesn't come when there's dragons on it.
So I think what's supposed to happen is if you... Like, you can mark which dragon it is, and then either that's the card in the pack instead, so people can't tell that you're drafting a dragon.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I see.
Yeah.
So you act like the dragon's a token? Basically?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. I got an Invoke Necro.
What's up, Gecko? That's so cool. I have no idea how to play this game, but I love to hear their thoughts on the cards. Well, you're just as welcome as anybody else.
Yeah. I'm up to 2 dragons. How are we doing on dragon count?
I currently have 1. There's Stoke the Flames, though.
Which one did you
phenomenal. Yindur, the Earth one.
Nice.
Yellow Brothers in Arms. Come on, guys.
Almost so good. Yellow Singe. I got a red Ember Moss Centipede. That's where the money's at, as we've discussed.
Yeah. Got a Rise Up. Got a Double Strike.
Got a Cold Foil. Spellfire Club.
Another red Skittering. That's 3 so far.
We like the stock.
Maybe I'm going to do a little Skittering Sands build. Ooh, Blue Aether Ice Vein, great. Red Ice Bolt, great. Yellow Rake the Embers, okay.
Brent saying, and we didn't get to the cards, so we'll talk more about this next week, but Sigil Protection also lets you play Waning Moon, which is a fine
that's right.
exchange.
That's a 6 play for 1.
Ooh, got the Heat Wave.
Yellow Polar Cap, I don't necessarily want that. It's fine.
I'm going to be honest, I think my pool is leaning me. I got a regular foil glacial ones.
You're an ice power. Same with Slager. How do you feel about the power level of the new heroes? I think they're spot on.
Yeah, I think it's pretty good. It's probably the most balanced. Oh, another red Aether Hail. It's gonna be sick in here.
Yeah, it's gonna be red Transmog and red Invoke Themai, so that's good against.
We do like Themai.
You red Frosting, we'll take that. That's an acceptable card. Blue Ice Bolt.
Red Oasis Respite. That card's bomb. Ooh,
the ripples.
Dude,
I don't really want this.
Dude, you should look at this. First 3 cards. Ready for this?
Blue Sweeping Blow's good.
Red Oasis Respite. Red Breakpoint. Red Scar for a Scar.
Oof.
What is happening?
Oof. Blue Sand Cover. Get away from me. Don't even want that. There's a red Dunebreaker Centipede. And the Phoenix Flame. Okay.
There's a
question marks abound in this pool.
So it's a tale as old as time. The first thing you do is you see which stack is bigger.
You just look at that visual cue.
Yeah, you also look at your armor. My armor is clearly telling me that I should be playing. Well, technically, I got a pretty good equipment spread for Wizard and Ninja.
Blue 3 block.
So I could play both. We'll get to that in a second. That's opening.
Calling Robe there.
Something shiny.
Engulfing Flame Wave. And,
I could do sealed pulls all day.
I know. It's the best part. It's just strictly the best part. Sigil Permafrost is kind of interesting. I'm not sure it's really much of a sealed card. Blue Transmog is definitely not the color I want to see, but it's not awful either. Red Singe. We're definitely winning the Dromai matchup, aren't we? Red Rake the Embers. Ooh, I got a tiny dragon situation.
Some of them baby dragons. That's how you beat ice.
Rising Resentment. Blue Soaring. I got my blues covered. I like that Aether Hail. Ember Maw in blue. We love it. And then some tokens. Okay.
So, some tests for
Not
me.
the dragons I want.
I have a ton of wizard cards and a ton of wizard equipment. I also have a pretty sweet ninja equipment spread. I got Tide Flippers and Heat Wave, and I have a Quelling Robe.
Yeah.
So like I could be fully decked out in either direction. That said, things that I look at just for a quick, like if you're going to a sealed and you just need to really figure it out quickly. Ninja, I pull out all my red cards. See how we're doing. And I have 1 red 0 with Go Again. 2 1s. Actually, 1 is a 1 with Go Again. 1 is the reaction that's +3. And I have a 2 cost.
That +3 reaction is not good.
It's not. So my ninja pool is pretty mediocre, honestly.
Yeah.
Just without really diving in, I feel like it's not that great. Looking at the illusionist cards, I have 3 dragons. None of them are all that threatening. Like this is the Mirage guy.
You do have the Uvia engine if you want to go that direction.
Yeah, so that would be the baby dragon engine. And I did get, so I'm looking for Ash Creation.
Ugh.
And Transformation.
This is some of the worst generics I've ever seen in a pool.
So I did get 2 red Rake the Embers and a couple big attacks. So it's fine, but it just feels slightly under the curve. So this is playable if I had to do it.
This 5 pool is an example of a one that you just don't do it.
I'm gonna really dive into this ninja pool.
You don't do this, right? I mean, I'm looking at 5 ninja reds. No. Like, you know good fight decks when you see them, you know? And if you don't have one, you're not winning the mirror.
You got that instinct?
This is not good enough.
Yeah, losing the mirror is just awful.
Not good enough.
Just
Look,
guaranteed
can we just
losing.
appreciate these generics, though? Look at this. We have yellow sigil, 2 yellow scars, a yellow flex, a yellow brothers in arms,
Right down the middle.
yellow trade-in, a yellow healing bomb, and then blue scar, blue sigil, blue read the ripples, blue sand cover. This is a wizard card, but it doesn't matter.
So,
These cards are unplayable.
This is why draft for competitive events, like truly competitive, is better.
Yeah.
Because like that
Makes
is
some control.
Like versus, let's look at my generics real quick.
Yeah, yeah.
Right? Red Scar, Red Oasis Respite, Yellow Critical Strike, which is a fine yellow.
Yeah, it's a 1 for 4. It's fine.
Blue Strategic Planning, I think it can be good. It's fine. Red Brothers in Arms,
Got a popper. 1 popper.
Red Critical Strike, Yellow Aces if you really want to go for it.
You'll probably do it against Icelander.
And then I have others.
But notably, too, you've got a 6, I've got a 6. So we might start to say 1 to 1.56 is average and sealed, which makes Draw My Dragons way better.
Yeah, I think you're lucky to get. I think you're pretty fortunate to get 2. You're lucky if you have 3.
Yeah.
So that's why if you have 3 bigger dragons, it's really tough. It's also what makes me really like the strategic planning. So I only got 1, and it was blue. But if you have like red strategic planning, you can loop a couple of those 1 and 2 cost dragons. It's almost impossible for them to have poppers.
Yeah, I'm with that. And I don't have any of that. Okay. So we've got Red Brother in Arms. Love it. Red Sigil, fine. Red Sift is a 0-cost go again card. And it says up to, so you can just waste it. Or you can use it to fix a hand. You won't, probably. Only blue 3-block generic is this blue critical strike, so it's fine. We like that at least. This Sift I really don't want to play. I'll put it in the please don't make me pile.
Please.
Okay. So then, where are you on Icelander ultimately? I got the horns. The horns are great. Notably good or decent cards. Hail. Blue freeze is okay. We've got 2 red singes. That's just a good sideboard situation. But it doesn't really main deck. Whatever that means. You could play the yellow sigil, I guess. I'm not excited about it. Ice Bolt, red frosting, blue Arctic, yellow polar cap's okay, red Ice Bolt's fine, blue Ice Vein's great, yellow cap's fine, yellow Ice Vein is great, blue. I might have some heat here.
And the ice pool.
Red Read the Ripples. Can you just leave? Nobody likes you.
Do you have a copy of Icelander really?
Yeah.
In your okay.
Yeah, it's in that stack probably. Dampen. Do you play this in the mirror, I guess? Does it even... It's because instance...
Yeah. It's bad. There she is.
Okay, thank you for solving that for me.
Yeah, I don't think it's very good.
Ugh, blue polar cap, you're only fine. I don't know about you. Red Aether Dart, we're playing all the 0 for X, for sure. Blue frosting.
Says after the whole Draconic rundown stream, it's going to be an Icelander mirror.
Target hero may pay 3. I mean...
I don't know if that's going to be true.
It's not a good card.
So the problem I'm having with my Icelander pool is that I have 2 ice cards that can be played from Arsenal.
Yeah, that might be an issue.
Yeah.
So on my side, on that note, I'm looking at 1 blue frosting, Arctic Incarceration times 2, and a blue ice bolt. So I'm on 4 that I can play from Arsenal.
Yeah. I don't think I can. I don't think I can play Icelander.
But I've also got 3 Aether Ice Veins.
Yeah, I have 3 blues.
Which is pretty good. Or I only have 2? I only have 2. That's less good. Thought I had 3. Is right on the bubble.
Yeah.
I could force this if I had to. 0 for 3 Frosting, 0 for 3 Aether Dart. Couple of Aether Hail. Just in the wrong places. Let's see what Dromire's got for me, because I've got a ton of good Draconic cards, so let's take a look.
I was convinced I was
Dromire
going to
as
be playing
well?
I don't know. I thought I was going to be playing Icelander, but it's not the case.
Okay, so notably good cards. Burn Away is good. Rise Up is fine. Stoke the Flames is good. Flame Call I like. Burn Them All. Just want to prove everybody wrong. Blaze Headlong, fine. Inflame 0-1, Go Again. This is also okay. Ooh, look at this. Okay, blue. Block 3. Any others? Yes. Blue, block 3. Come on, give me a few more. Dang! Let's see how many blues we have. Okay, there's our blues. And then let's look at what we've got. We've got Themai. That is just not the dragon you want here. And Yindarai, which is fine. We're gonna have some taters here.
Yeah, this is what we
May as
call
well be Thanksgiving dinner.
hot potatoes.
This is awful.
Yeah, it's so bad. Just looking at it, it's like, what am I doing here?
What do any of these decks even do? Now, I will tell you. This I will tell you.
And they had no idea what they were talking about.
This I will tell you. The actual cards here for Dromire are pretty good. Got Silent Stilettos and Silken Form. And the Quelling Robe. That's a fine spread to bring in. I wish I had a hat.
We can get you a hat, dude.
Okay, we've got... I can get you a hat.
Get you a hat by Tuesday.
But let's look at what actually is going on in this deck. Let's ask ourselves the hard questions. Okay, this is one of those don't pitch decks. Have you heard of it?
Don't pitch.
Yeah. I know what you're
cost,
thinking.
no whammies.
I don't need your reasons.
16 in the middle, man. Blue Flaxus is not it. Okay, I might have on fire. Just saying. Here we are, back again.
Guess who's back?
James saying, have you seen the pre-con Dromire deck only has 2 blues? Like
I
2
guess-
total or 4?
That's how we're supposed to play it. Okay, this one's coming in.
Honestly, dude, I feel like what just happened to me is what would happen in so many... I'm glad it's draft, but it's so many sealed pools, which is... I wanted to play Wizard, but it wasn't there. I wanted to play Dromire, but it wasn't there. And then I checked Fi out, and it was like, you know what? That'll play.
That'll play, man. That'll always play. Even if I'm even just looking at like cards that I would even consider playing. Let's start there.
Question coming in about Doombreaker Centipie. So the way Phantasm works is at Daily Fatigue saying, dumb roll question. No, it's not dumb. Doombreaker Centipie, do you get the go again from it if it's popped because the go again is part of playing the card? That's actually not true. So the go again actually resolves at the end. So if it gets popped, the go again never has a chance to trigger. So one of the common things you can do is just end a turn by popping one of their cards.
Or if you blow it up with Icelander, oof. That feels bad. Is there anything in here that's actually playable that I'm missing? There just isn't. Maybe this Yellow Brothers in Arms to block 4 off of a Quell turn? Is that even a thing? Play trade-in from Arsenal?
The value.
I can play this Tome of Firebrand?
What did you say about my mom?
All right, now let's just count them up. Let's just count up the cards we even
made
get.
it.
1,
This was
2,
the
3,
right
4,
pool.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. I'm at 27 with the garbage in. That's 3 Phoenix Flames, baby.
That is a Phoenix Flame fiasco. Yeah. So part of why I ended up going Phi is because I needed the Phoenix Flames to get to a good deck. And I didn't want them to be a waste of time.
See, an average Phi deck is going to be an average Dromai deck every time.
Yep. We got a Briar Sitch, but it's not as good as Briar was.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, do you just want to try one?
What do you say?
You want to try a game real quick?
I'll play a game.
You play one?
I'll play one.
Let's just see what happens.
You're on who?
Dromai. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to look for any 3 blocks. Because you know what a card can always do, Zach?
Watch for 3, baby.
And I think I have all of them. Flex is technically a 0 for 3. It's a card you don't want to play. Understood. Healing Bomb is a card you also don't want to play. Sigil for 3. Hate it. No, 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 no. This is not good. It's like I don't even have a choice. Every 3 block is in 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16.
James Armstrong. Gentlemen, we have ourselves a game. Fox saying, heck yes, game on, brothers. People are excited that we're playing a game.
Good, good. 17. Ugh. Es stinke.
One of them.
I can't say I'm terribly pleased about anything that's happening on this side of the table.
We are.
You got the wrong dragons, you got the wrong Phi cards, you got the wrong spells.
Sometimes it do be like that. We'll see,
Alright, what is this pile anyway? Hold on.
see if we can value town our way out of this.
17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. I think I even have to play Red Sigil in this.
Gross.
30? Do I really run 3 flames? If I just had a yellow 3 block, man, oh my gosh, I would play it. Nobody wants to play Yellow Scar, right? Nobody wants to play this, right? You don't want to play it. Nobody wants to play it. It does nothing.
30, exactly. Get my sleeves.
All right, fine. I'm just playing the... I'm playing one less flame.
Gimmicker saying, Mulligan, 6 new packs.
Sometimes you just got to make this work, and you got to win anyway.
You gotta play out of it. Show the world why you're good.
That's it. Yeah. Okay, and then I need these to hit in the right order.
James says he can feel your enthusiasm flowing.
It's so bad. Oh, wait, I get to put these in the deck. So I can cut 2 bad cards.
The Dragons.
That Brother in Arms is gone.
You only got 2 dragons?
Yeah.
I did go bad.
It was very bad.
Yeah, agreed. Seemingly.
Very bad. Do I even play the 2 for 6 against Phi?
It's not bad. It's not a bad card.
It's not the worst card in my deck.
No. So you probably do play it.
It's still on rate, though, you know? Just 2 for 6.
I have noticed that, Puck. Have you ever noticed that Steven complains the most just before he wallops someone?
Yeah. It's a way of insulating myself.
Oh, this is so horrible. There's no way I could possibly, and then you win.
I didn't think you guys were onto that yet. Dang it.
There's been too much content posted for them not to understand. Oh man, is Bryce 1.0 with us? He can leave now though, right? This is the automated part? Or was it automated?
It was all automated.
I see a little name there. It's like, I didn't realize.
Now, do you play Red Sigil ever except against Icelander? I would play it maybe in Fi if I had nothing better to do, because you can end a chain with it, and that's okay.
I mean, the nice thing about Dromai, though, is like, a lot of times you just have an open action at the end. So, I don't know.
But I've got to cut a real card to play it.
Pock saying, oh god, all I have are all these Moria orcs. What will I ever do? You did destroy me with this.
Yeah. How many red Gogan cards do you think you need in the deck?
Max.
Like, even playing Red Sift, Max?
Totally. A 0 cost red Gogan.
Mm-hmm.
It blocks for 3.
Yeah.
It could be blank. But it ain't even blank. It's good.
I feel like I want to get a Sigil in here. And I don't like... And like, that is a sad reality.
I want to get the Sigil in here.
I'm going to get Sigil in here. It's like, oh, you must be awesome.
We back.
0-1 go again. It's there. I'm going to be playing a 0-for-4 value game, though. That's really what's going on here. I maybe don't need all these blues. Or maybe I do.
Perhaps I do.
It's just like devastating. Devastating. Okay. Billowing, Phoenix Flame. We're going to run with it. Sigil stays out. Are you sleeping?
Yep. You got that cold foil burn them all in there?
It's not cold.
Or the foil?
Yeah. Yeah, dude, it blocks for 3.
Sure does.
The entire reality of this game is going to be block with 3 cards from hand and do 0-for-4. And see if that can ever actually work.
I have a feeling we're about to find out.
Fixing to find out. And I'm going to play Burn Them All, and it's going to win me the game.
More power to you.
And we're all going to go, oh, maybe that should be a 5-star card. Together, collectively.
Hey, the points definitely adjust based on experience.
I will say this deck would probably rock Icelander. Got Themai, got a bunch of baby dragon stuff, got a sand cover, got the AB boots.
It's free. Basically free.
It's a free matchup, yeah. That's how that goes.
I'm using my eyeballs to... We don't have the monitor, so I can't tell where my stuff's at.
Does he actually want to play a blue Skittering Sands? I guess it makes you an Ashwing. It's not nothing.
My favorite kind of card. It doesn't do nothing.
It doesn't not do something. It definitely is in the doing something category.
How proud we are of all of them. Should have ordered a smoothie like an hour ago.
Man, you're telling me free smoothie?
I thought about it. Well, if we were going to go the distance after the Draconic cards, I was going to smoothie it up. It's like, I need a smoothie and I need a stat.
It's funny how things have... The season, it's amazing how the season turns. It used to be like, give me an old-fashioned stat. Now it's get me something full of B vitamins.
Yeah, I need fruits and vegetables only, please. No added sugars. Got on a real food and drink journey this past year.
Yeah. All right, we'll play one. Then I'm gonna go work out.
Work out.
I'll work out.
Even Steven?
Sure.
It's even.
And it's Steven. Okay, hold on. I haven't thought about this enough yet. So Reasons to go second. A, activate Helios and get a bunch of Ash. B, first actual turn, block out Phi on your first one. Reasons not to go first or second. Phi can do damage on the first turn with 4 cards. You go second here? I think you go second. I don't know. I'm a second guy. I like second.
Yeah, I don't think you want to cede tempo to Phi. Brent's saying I'll
do that first turn.
still take an old-fashioned stat. Yeah, at any point, any day of the week.
Well, we know how hard that is actually for the bartenders.
Yeah, it's very tough.
Last time there was an old-fashioned, you didn't even get one. Man, we really got to play around the corner today, don't we? It's crazy. Yeah, this is tough without the old monitor.
Yeah.
Are you on? Yeah, you're on. So I'll use you as a guide.
I've been working hard for the money over here. Yeah, it's basically this line.
What a beautiful, beautiful equipment suite, though, eh?
That is nice. Boots with the fur.
And then we'll do this. I'll do it right here, up in your grill.
We actually both got our class arms and boots.
Arms and boots. Yeah, we did. It was the highlight of the pool.
Before all the kids showed up.
Yeah, and yeah, apparently you're not supposed to do this, so just don't do that until they're actually there. But we all know how it actually goes.
You're not supposed to attach ash when you create things?
Yeah, like, come on.
What is this?
I'm not done yet. Here's some Majestic tokens for you. These are available on our website. We'd love to sell them to you.
Majestic tokens. Don't know if that link actually works.
How's the shot look, everybody? Everything feel good? Don't need the armor tokens.
Looks great minus the 2 guys.
I've got two things here. Okay, and then you're going first. Go ahead. I'll draw after I see what you're doing. It's a pleasing sound, isn't it?
I don't want to do that.
I've already won. What Tide Flippers do again? Attack reaction, do something, +1 to something.
Attack 2 or less base gets going.
Pretty good.
AB1.
Especially if you have bad cards. Do you want to cut?
Let's go Run and Renegade yellow. 2 is going.
3 cards in hand?
Mm-hmm.
Kind of scary, man.
Pocket Steven with a V. You have a dice board yonder for me?
Sure. Oh, I guess we need help. We can just keep track on our brains, right?
The Daily Fatigue saying those tokens are very nice. When I got mine, I thought they were messed up. But then I read the package.
Oh, you got a PLM now?
Yep.
That has fallen many a hero in our customer service form.
Yeah. They're kind of muted and brown. Not what I expected.
These are clearly not the right production run.
1 star. Never shopping again.
Okay, let's see. And then you've got the thing, and then that thing happens.
Anthony wants to know if you sideboarded in. Strategic planning. I'll close my eyes. You can shake your head.
I don't have any. I didn't draw any of those.
Ooh, bummer, dude.
Yeah, I drew nothing of value.
They're like extra dragons.
If you were to think, you know what? He's going to draw something good. I didn't. That's how that goes.
I could use a dub.
What's 2 damage, right? What's 2 damage?
Every time I win on stream and get a dub, we're going to get McDoubles.
All right, I'm going to activate Helios on this.
Oh, he's coming to town.
And I'm going to take 1.
2 ash, though.
And get 2 ash, yeah.
All right, well.
It's scary to do that early. It's scary to do that early. I don't know if it's right. That's why I'm scared. Because like you could slap me with like 8 or 10 damage now. Maybe you should just work this quell equipment in a real way.
Sword for 3.
Block 3. Stop attacking. Stop. Don't do it. Wait.
Let's get a critical strike for 5.
Oh, come on, man. That's good.
Agreed.
All right, I'll block 2, and I hate it. And I'll take 3.
All right.
That's why it's hard to go first or second. Now, the other thing you could do here that probably is better, this, if I had really wanted to go for it, I pitched this to activate Quell, block that first one, and then have it floating, block the sword, and then have it floating to block 1 off of that. So I still get 2 block out of this, but I keep it in deck, and then I activate and get an Ashwing. So those are the kind of things to look at. I think you kind of have to get going early with Dromai. All right, so Flame Call Awakening. These are not the cards I want under here. It's the start of the stack. We'll definitely get there. Okay. Let's think. I've got an Inflame in there, so that's interesting. We could do this. We could do this, and then Arsenal. That seems right. Phoenix Flame looking good. Okay. Let's go Billowing Mirage Yellow. Pitch here. And that's going to transform into an Ashwing.
Take that.
And it's going to be 2 with Go again, so it's going to generate an Ash for the pitch. Then we'll do Red Skittering, transform, and then swing one of them for 4.
Take 4.
And then one of them for 2.
Take 2.
Or 1, rather.
Take 1.
Break the chain because it annoys me to not. And then I'll Arsenal pass.
All right. Party on. Blue Rising Resentment from Arsenal. 1 with Go again. Hit effect that does not matter. James Armstrong. Let the pain train roll. Zap says, getting tokens and dice board as soon as Uprising singles hit the online store. Appreciate that.
Heck yeah. Okay, so we can turn this probably in. I'll declare no blocks. I'll activate Quell here.
Okay. Phoenix Flame for 1.
Is it 1? Is it? Yeah, 2 or more. All right, Quell it.
I'm going to pop this.
Okay, take 1.
Let's go Engulfing Flame Wave for 5 with Go again.
That's the money.
Money, money.
See, it can't hit. You see how good that card is?
It is good. Assuming this is a attack that costs 2 or less.
It is. We'll look at it afterwards.
Possibly not, actually.
Yeah, 1 card in hand and that has go again. So you can pitch swing if you want to swing the sword. Okie dokie. 3, 4, 5.
Doesn't hit.
Right.
Let's get the Phoenix Flame coming for 2.
Quell 1, take 1.
Yeah. And then another one that you said you liked a lot. Lava Burst for 5, baby.
It's great. I'm taking that.
Ooh.
It's a good card.
A good turn.
Yeah.
Alright, look and see if it would have hit. Wouldn't you know it would have hit?
There you go. Boom. Value. Let's go Skittering Sands. Swing for 4. 2 after.
You have 3 babies. Take
4, 1, 1, basically.
4. 1, 1. Take 1. Take 1.
All right, Arsenal there.
Down to 7. Still a game.
We're out of ash. I'm all out of ash. So lost without you. I'm just gonna wait for that 5 potato farm.
4 to go again.
That's convenient. Not a Draconic. 4. 0, pitch. 7. 1 on top. Ooh, how long can we last? Can you do 9? You have to be able to do 9, right? I won't block. I'll take 4.
Let's go Stoke the Flames. Pay 1.
That's the 4 must block. Yeah.
If not, it just gets go again and I get a Phoenix Flame back.
Otherwise, it does not currently have go again.
Right.
It's good news bears for me. Okay. Well, now you've given us a lot of question marks here, actually. Okay, this.
Brent saying, what happened to the block and survive plan?
We're on the block and survive plan currently.
Yeah, I'm just not blocking.
Okay, and then we do this. Okay. Let's block 3. And then I'm going to activate Quell here. I'm blocking 4.
Okay. Fast and please.
Blue 3 blocks, doing the Lord's work as always.
As always, indeed.
At the end of this turn, as much as I would love to Silken Form here,
He needs the Dragon Ash.
I need the Dragon Ash. Real bummer, but we're here. All right, now we got to decide. This could be the turn. This could be a problematic turn. You're at 7. Threatening 8, but what do I do if you have a pauper here? If you have a pauper here, I'm sunk. Which means, the grand scheme of things, I should block. If you have a pauper here, I'm gonna tell you what should have been done. I should save this and do a different 3 block so I have the blue for the stilettos. But maybe that won't happen. Let's do... This is a great question. Okay. Let's do red skittering. And we'll swing a dragon for 4. Maybe a 4-1-1-1. What's up, Alex Chase? Good to see you. I got my TCG Uprising case today. Heading home to crack it now. Wish me luck. Super excited to hear that, Alex. Love it.
Block 3, take 1.
Okay. Swing for 1. 1 of 3 left.
Take 1.
Swing for 1.
Take 1.
Swing for 1.
Take 1.
Then we'll stoke the flames for 4. If it hits, I can get a Phoenix Flame and it has go again.
Any Phoenix Flames over there?
Funny you should ask. No, they're not.
Okay, there's 4 coming out.
Generate Nash.
I think the best play is that.
This is a really good question as to whether you do 4 on the top or you open with Burn Them All. Get an extra damage in, but doesn't get cards out of hand, so I think that's why we're here.
Block 3.
Okay.
Take 1.
You got it.
Yeah, makes sense.
Okay, cool.
Let's go burn away.
Burn away, yeah.
Phoenix Flame, one of them is gone. Forward, go again.
Okay. 4 with go again. You've got 1 card in hand, 1 card in arsenal. Pitch, sword, play is a thing. It's a possibility. You've got a block. You've probably got nothing but 2 blocks. Huh. Okay. Let's go. So hard. There's weird cards in the deck. No hit effect.
Go
no hit
poppers.
All right, I'll block 3, take 1.
Okay. Pay 1. Wait for forward, go again.
Okay. Let's go no blocks and sand cover there.
Okay. I will pay 1, get a Phoenix Flame back. And then we'll attack one of your babies.
Baby dead.
Over to you.
All right, we're going to play Dust Up for 4. Test that 2 block reality. Or you got those 2 Phoenix Flames in your hand. I don't know.
Block 3.
All right.
Take one?
Sure. Create an ash, transform.
Sure.
And then I will pass Arsenal here. Don't think I need that ash for anything. Maybe I shouldn't transform it, actually. Yeah, I'm actually not going to do that. Arsenal there.
Blaze for 4?
No go again.
No.
Okay. We love it. No go again. There's nothing in the world that gives you sweet go again party, right? Nothing in the set.
Nope. The only thing that could
I just need to
possibly
honor
get
attack
you
reactions.
is the +3.
The 7.
But
Which you do that if you think you have the game here.
yeah, and it costs 1. So it smells like a fish.
It smells like a fish.
Oh man.
Okay. So if we do 6, you can go to 7. I take 1. These are good cards. Do that Phoenix Flame too, which is really kind of a pain here.
It's a starter.
This is really not great. Yeah.
I mean, I got a block, right?
Yeah. There's a better starter though in Burn Away, but I'm gonna have to use it to block. And I still hold the blue for the stilettos in case.
James says this is a bad Phi deck.
Yeah. I'll block 6.
Okay. We will Arsenal pass.
Okay. All right, we'll do a Phoenix Flame for nothing. Consider me
Okay.
having done it. We'll do a blue Skittering. Swing 1 dragon for 2.
Let's pop it.
Right. Stilettos.
Yeah.
1 dragon for 1.
3 left.
Yeah.
I'll quell.
Okay.
Basically all 3.
All 3. Got it.
That was, I drew the 6 last turn when I was like looking at it weird. And it was a really weird position across the board.
About to get weird up in here. So we're at 1 card at this point. If you leave me with 1 card, then I could potentially get 2 cards. Okay. I need to destroy the dragon, that's right. Thank you, David.
It's a weird one.
Who built this Phi deck?
Yeah, it's garbage.
The Lord did.
It was not great.
Is that your only popper too on it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I knew it.
I'm going to make an interesting choice here.
All right, we like it. We'll talk about it later.
I'm going to attack for 3 at a baby.
Okay.
I'm going to attack for 1 at a baby.
You got it.
And then I'm going to pay 1 to get a Phoenix Flame and attack the other one.
Clear the babies?
Yeah. I basically...
No babies.
My max was 3 and 3. So, like, you could take 1, and then you would see that you could only have to block with 1. And then you still have the baby dragons, which I feel like is how I lose here. We'll see.
Yeah, it makes it definitely more interesting. to see what we're dealing with here. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Flame Call Awakening is coming right up. I know I've got a Phoenix Flame in for it, so that's not terrible. So we're looking at 1. You've got a block there. Yeah, that's still fine. Okay, we're going to play Sift and put up to 0 cards.
Yeah, and held it.
We're going to play Inflame. When you attack, put a Phoenix Flame back into my hand from my graveyard.
Nice.
1 coming at you.
Don't like the stock. Let's pay 2 to use Helios.
Okay. Phoenix Flame for 1. Oh, wait, hit. Yeah, second Draconic, yeah. Okay. Hoo, hoo, hoo. I'm basically fine now.
Let's pay 2.
Uh-oh.
Prevent 1. This. Yeah, perfect.
All right, then we'll do Brothers for 6. Pitch yellow.
Oh, no. Block 4.
All right.
You did.
You did actually have
See,
2 blocks.
With your garbage deck, you still win.
Well, against your garbage deck.
Yeah, I don't think it was that bad.
It's a garbage on garbage.
It was a really weird turn to draw my 6. Like, I finally had tempo, and I just needed to threaten lethal, and then it was, like, strange.
Yeah, see, perfect. Like, this is Rake, Invoke, Flame Call, Rise Up. That's an interesting hand to come into the last... if you had put me on, this is an awful hand. I gotta have 2 cards to do anything. Now, if you do anything, like, this looks really good, but you gotta make an Ash first. So you can't even play this. You got to block here.
Yeah.
And then Rake for 1 dragon.
You were at 0 Ash
2
there.
dragons.
So, like, part of me was in the reality of if you don't have Ash, you don't have dragons out, you might not be able to threaten anything.
Mm-hmm.
And then you definitely had threatening, like, you threatened a bunch of 1s, which is the worst case scenario.
Yeah.
And you like, thinking it through, if I had made you use 1 card out of hand, what would your turn look like?
Let's see. It goes probably Phoenix Flame, and then it ends at that Phoenix Flame, probably. Or it'd be something like...
You'd the Inflame, right?
Yeah, so it would be like Sift, Inflame, Phoenix Flame, and then Arsenal, Sweeping Below Yellow. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know.
You had 3 red skitterings?
Yeah.
That seemed pretty good.
Yeah, 3 red skittering's good.
Just from a tempo play.
Yeah, it's what when we were saying this is going to be a 0 for 4 deck, it was literally 0 for 4 with the dragons, 0 for 4 with the dragons, 0 for 4, dust up, 0 for 4.
Yeah.
And then like our last turn. Yeah. So it was exactly that.
Didn't seem bad. You were short a couple things to make it great.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you'd had 1 more dragon and it was good.
1 more good dragon would be sick here.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's playable. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Sealed, you gotta make it work sometimes.
I feel like my fly pool, I didn't start there. I ended there because I dropped down. And it was fine. I just was missing the starter cards basically, which is why I was the 3 Phoenix Flames. It's like how I was looking to start chains.
Well, we're glad to keep your file losing streak.
That's what. So this is what I drew. It was Blaze Headlong with Brothers in Arms, and then like a blue, and then a 2-cost blue. I think it was like the hand.
Mm-hmm. Gross.
And it was just like, well, and then you kind of made me block. I think.
Yeah.
I think I
block with 1 of these guys. I think. And
it was the turn you just played like an attack that didn't have Phantasm, and I had this in hand.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't attack with the dragons.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so then it was like I had to block with like 1. I think I had a 3 block of some kind.
And you want to float the Brothers in Arms because that's your blowout turn.
Yeah, so then I was like, well, I guess I can swing for 4, and you're on 4, and then Arsenal a go again card and keep this in hand, and then hopefully he really banks on having go again.
Mm-hmm. And I had the blue for Stilettos.
Yeah, which was perfect.
Stilettos important.
Yeah,
it's really important.
I think it's very good because it has an AB too, right?
Yeah.
So like
it's a good card.
It helps you in both matches, in my opinion.
All right, Sealed. I love it, man.
Could do sealed all day.
I love it. Any thoughts?
No.
Anybody got any questions? We're going to get out of here.
Yep. Thanks for being with us. Next week, I think, we'll come back with the part 2 of the Uprising breakdown.
Yeah, that's probably what we should do. We were going to do some draft stuff next week, but we'll continue down the trail and at least get that captured. Maybe play some more sealed.
Yeah.
Enjoy Uprising. This is my favorite part of a set.
Ton of cards.
Next month and a half, 2 months.
Yeah.
You just get to jam it.
Well, with a supplemental set on the way, we got a long time of enjoying this. So
yeah.
Sit back, relax, and we'll get there when we get there.
All right, everybody. Hey, thanks so much for joining us. Huge shout out to Covenant subscribers, people getting their booster boxes and Blitz decks through us. That allows us to buy all these cameras, keep the lights on, et cetera, et cetera. So we do appreciate that very much. If you're curious about that, you can find it on our website. You basically just get as many booster boxes as you want every time a set releases. You pay nothing up front. It's like a pre-order, but you don't have to pay ahead of time. And you get an exclusive promo.
Easy peasy.
And it's funny that the robot pulled up Spew Shadow whenever I was saying that.
For some reason.
That's actually so funny.
Because you're spewing?
Yeah, because I'm spewing Shadow.
That is not the promo.
Marketing.
That is definitely not the